Movies.
Is this your song every week?
Movie.
So not surprised. Alfred Molina in the beginning.
Movie guys love movies. Any comments about how we don't love movies, written in a letter to Iran, are purely the conjecture of the 114th Congress. Isn't that right, Joni Ernst?
I'm Joni Ernst. I grew up castrating hogs on an Iowa farm.
Was that you?
No, that's
I did grow up castrating frogs. What did you say?
Hogs.
Hogs.
That's a real sitting congresswoman.
Republican Iowa Senator Joni Ernst.
And now she's going to castrate the president.
I love that movie, Castrating Hogs. John Travolta, wasn't he in Castrating
Martin
Hogs?
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Tim Allen, the whole
Castrating
deal.
Hogs, yeah.
Yeah, they were all there.
Or were they castrating the audience?
Just let Jamie know that's as political as the show gets. We're done with that.
That's it. I didn't even get the joke.
Pick a side now, Jamie.
I love that Jamie.
Ralph Nader.
We normally don't have that weird theme song. I don't know where that came from, but Jamie knew all the words.
I like how he added Alfred Molina. That's a good one.
It helps.
How many people know that?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Oh, that he was in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
He was the opening.
Yeah.
I got my movie nerd on, didn't I?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'm impressed.
Okay, so at the end of the movie, the guy comes on and he says, well, actually, he's in the beginning, too. He's the guy who hires Indiana Jones to find the Ark. Top men. You know this guy I'm talking about?
Men.
Top men.
Who else has he played in the history of
Porkins.
popular films? He was Porkins.
He was Porkins
In what?
Star Wars.
Porkins.
Yeah.
One of the Death Star fighters, and he gets blown up.
Yeah, he doesn't live. Luke's the important one. So welcome to the movie Showcast, everybody. Part of the vast and sprawling movie guys empire.
Death Star coming over. That was actually.
They're beginning their attack run.
That's the airplane, but I actually thought it was a sound effect. That was good.
That would be. We have really great sound effects.
3D.
Look, just because we wear trackies and play sports does not make us lesbians. You've reached ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here in our show every week with jokes, rants, sketches, characters, bits, special guests, and more as we broadcast from the Admiral's Club in the heart, apparently, as you can tell, of Burbank Airport's flyover zone. They don't stop making movies, so we don't stop making comedy shows about movies, which means you can get a new show every week on iTunes, SoundCloud, Vimeo, PulpEpic.com, Stitcher, and, of course, themovieguys.net, absolutely free. And we encourage you to subscribe, especially at iTunes. And if you do, Lee?
Paul, how much would that cost me?
No charge.
Believe that?
And of course, by Lee, I mean Bart.
Quite a value.
We're also on WBAD.net, Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Basically, just search The Movie Guys on Google, Yahoo, or...
Bing!
And we come right up. I'm your host for the hardest working podcast on the airwaves, Paul Preston, here with Adam Witt. That's you.
Swear to me. Sorry.
You lost a cue that led with your name.
I swear I'll pick up the next one.
Bart Caius.
Mom, you were right. If you pick it, it'll get infected.
And Karen Volpe.
Why am I drippings with goo?
Joining us the whole program is an actor you know from close to 100 different projects, including films like Malibu's Most Wanted, Three Kings, and of course Scream, and a couple of its sequels, not to mention being the host of his own show for 5 years on television, The Jamie Kennedy Experiment. He's in a new film, Buddy Hutchins, available on Amazon and Google Play and elsewhere in the world of VOD. Jamie Kennedy!
Hey!
Chimed in already. There he is.
There are certain rules. Because you guys all said a line, so I don't know. So I said a line from my own movie.
That's just our opening bit.
Give us your
go ahead and give us a quote.
line.
I don't know. What was I supposed to say? A line from
We
my
were all doing
movies?
movie quotes. Sure.
I don't know. Welcome to Burbank. I don't know.
That's a Johnny Carson quote.
That's a Johnny Carson quote, I think.
Of course it is.
Very apropos.
And we're going to get to our signature thing, which is, of course, movie previews. And there are two big ones opening in theaters this weekend, including... And time. It's been 10 minutes since Liam Neeson was last seen in a big screen kicking ass. Don't worry, Run All Night is here to quell your DTs. And later in the show, Disney's Cinderella. The original Disney cartoon version of Cinderella came out in 1950, making it 65 years old now. According to modern-day Disney, that would seem ready for retirement, but we have this.
Wouldn't you prefer to eat when all the work is done, Ella?
Yes, stepmother. Oh, you needn't call me that. Madam will do.
Cinderwench. Dirty Ella. Cinderella.
That's where they got it.
Wow.
I don't think they called her wench in the animated movie, did they?
I know. They go right
Do you get a
for it.
PG-13 for wench? For calling her a wench?
Maybe. Not sure.
Didn't they just make that with Julia Roberts? What was the one they just made?
I think that's Cinderella and the Huntsman.
And the Huntsman.
Snow
No,
White.
that was
Snow White.
That was Snow White. But was the other one Snow White?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
They were like they were the Deep Impact and Armageddon.
Those
Snow
were
White
the
movies.
okay, yeah. So this is Cinderella. So we haven't had a Cinderella in a minute.
No, and this one's going to be, I'm excited about it, partially because, it's girly and stuff, but this Cinderella is smoking hot. Have you guys checked out the poster?
I saw the bus. She looked pretty good on the bus.
Right? She's
good going
very
by.
hot. She's hot on Downton Abbey, too.
She looked good on the, she looked good.
Lily James, I think.
She's really sweet, too. I think she's going to be great.
Yeah, she's super skinny in those posters. Like, really skinny.
Like, where are her ribs skinny?
Like I
skinny?
suppose she's not being fed at home, which this evil stepmother probably does.
Which
but
only makes you look better in your gowns.
Like
so
if
ladies,
only skinny?
What?
If only skinny?
What are you talking about? Who
What is
are
that?
you? You're the weirdest ever. Bart
know what that
has
is.
gone to
No,
Disneyland.
you're saying she was really skinny. If only women were really that skinny.
movie woman. Movie woman.
Bart.
Movie people. Movie people are skinny.
Oh, a couple of quick announcements. We are in season 6 here.
Woohoo!
We had said 5.
Oh, I
And
thought
did
it was
the math,
Yeah,
which really wasn't hard, but for some reason it took us
because we
about
did
3
2
weeks.
years of the first version of the show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that why?
Well, I don't know.
The
I
little
just-
shorts version.
No, I really just knew when it all started, but didn't add it up right.
Well, Paul, this is a problem because I've been shipping the box set with only 5 DVDs in it. So is this I'm probably going to have to go back and refill some orders?
Yeah,
Okay.
I appreciate that.
All right.
We'll get to your involvement in the show here soon enough, trust me. I wanted to bring up, we lost Sam Simon during the week. One of the co-creators of The Simpsons.
No.
Yeah.
Did he die?
He did.
Yeah, really young, too.
A couple days ago.
There was a great article about him in Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
He did die. Would he have cancer?
59, colon, I
Oh,
believe.
man.
And not only a co-creator of one of the great shows of all time, just to get involved in a show that is
insane.
societal, it's changed society. You know,
There's nothing like The Simpsons.
It's incredibly impactful, and of course, lasts forever. Still going, outlasted him. You know, it's crazy.
I mean no disrespect when I say this, but
You always
Here we
disrespect
go.
whatever you say
Now
when
what
you
the
say
hell are
that.
you gonna
no,
say?
I was actually I was
that holds
oddly
no
Man
weight.
isn't even cold yet. Leave him alone.
I was oddly pleased to hear he had passed, only because I thought he had already passed. Because I remember when the news of his illness came out, and I thought I remember hearing that he
It
had
is a while ago.
he already left the mortal coil. And I was like, oh great, he had all these extra years I didn't know about. Good for him.
There you go. Hey, here's something.
Brought it back around.
Thank you.
Here's
Lost
something.
us at oddly
That was
pleased.
clearly not where I was going, but I had to change course based on that.
Tobias, I think you should record yourself all week. I think you'd be kind of interested in hearing some of your phrasings.
All right. Inspired by Sam Simon's passing, I think I have a little quick game that
This
we
is
can all
gonna
play.
hurt before I put on your pants. What? Exactly. I'm just saying.
I have a fun little.
in the mouth.
I have a fun little game we can play real quick. Sam Simon was also really active in helping dogs and cats and helping animals. And he gave an advice for whenever your animal gets older, how do you know when to put the animal down? And someone was talking to him about that because being that he was dying, he said, well, here's the rule. You just write down the 3 favorite things that your animal likes to do. And once they can't do those 3 things anymore, then you should put them down and let them go off peacefully to the, Rainbow Bridge or whatever. So Sam Simon said that
That's Thor, but go ahead.
Shut up. So Sam Simon said that he would probably always be on life support because his favorite things to do were just sit, eat, and watch TV. So he would just sit and watch TV. But I was thinking, what are your 3 things? Like once you stop doing them, we put you down.
Going to movies. I mean, I think
Right.
that's why we're all here,
Yeah.
right?
Once I can no
loving
lo-
my wife.
Put you down.
We're putting it down. That's it.
It's hardcore.
Once you say, would you like to watch Captain America Winter Soldier? And I go, no. Just
Yeah,
That's
you're done.
true.
It's over for
Put you down.
I'm done.
It's over for you.
Put him down.
What would be one for
Well,
you,
how
Bart?
sad is it? I don't have 3 things that I like to do.
Put him
that.
down.
Put him down.
Down.
immediately.
Down already.
Jamie, what would one of yours be?
Oh, looking at beautiful women at Trader Joe's. Down.
And mine, of course, would be getting excited about any Bill Murray news.
Yeah, right.
If I was like, so done.
Wow.
Put her down.
The whole thing is, though, the animal has no say in that.
I know the
It's
animal.
just like, you know what? We think you're off your game. Down. I mean, it's terrible,
Forced retirement.
right?
We think
It's
we're off
also
your game.
it's a weird term. Down.
And what
Put
if
him
they-
down.
Yeah, what if all that ball throwing was more for you? You're like, you don't like the ball anymore, and the dog's like, that was all about you. I was making you get the ball and throw it. You liked that, right?
I thought the ball slipped out of your hands and bringing it back to you.
Down.
I'm putting you down.
Oh, for
human.
and with that dog, I mean, he gave $100 million to charity of his money before he knew he couldn't take it with him. I think that's a smart
Wait,
thing to do.
he did?
Yeah. He became a huge
Yeah, one of his last-
philanthropist.
He
in
was.
his
But
later
what?
years.
Now, there's another thing. What did he leave it to the animals?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
has
he
a
spread it around, I
sanctuary.
think, but most of it, I believe, went to one of those associations that makes helper dogs.
But
for
okay.
handicapped
He gave it to people.
No, I was
the
gonna
dogs
say,
would just blow it on
because
toys.
when the animals get, what's a dog going to do with 100 mils? I mean, let's
good
just get. I'm sorry.
He'll hire someone else to lick
I know
his
him and
balls.
Jennifer Tilly was close.
He was heavily medicated.
She was. I mean, she's probably going, "We left it all on Pikachu." What the fuck? Help! Give me 10. God bless you.
Oh, by the way, that music we heard at the top of the show, you may have noticed, was not the usual music. We're incorporating.
Are you
now.
kidding me?
Huh?
I know.
Jamie,
Not only did I
you're gonna
walk
stick
into
around.
this,
You gonna stick around?
but not only did I think that was your regular music, I walked into this and was like, "Oh, the movie guys in Burbank." I think it's Burbank. It's NBC. It's studios. No, it's Burbank in a house. And I just came to a house. I got a little scared, and then all you guys are wearing like movie shirts, and I'm like,
And you're all dressed up.
Well, it's just kind of, but not really. But then I was
he
like,
looks
is
nice.
this
Check
their
it out.
life or is this for the movie show? Like, I felt like I walked into a slice. Like, I feel he wears that shirt every day. You wear that shirt every day. Or versions of.
See, most people are thrilled to know that we're not doing it in the living room. That when we bring it back out to the studio, they go, "Oh, this is a really nice setup."
No, it's a great setup, but it's the garage.
Yeah,
It is, yeah. It is
Great
the
things
garage.
have happened in the garage.
Hey, it's a
Apple was
valley.
porn. Hewlett Packard.
Good call.
Porns,
Good call.
lots of
Porn, a
porn.
lot of
If you're
porn
watching
in the
it-
valley.
If you're watching that video, just outside the wall, the
Yeah.
frame of what you're looking at, there's storage.
Yeah, there's bikes and
Yeah.
water heaters.
It's a garage.
Good stuff.
It's great.
Jamie is pulling the curtain up on
Yes.
what's really going on here.
That's because,
Well,
he
you-
keeps it
Speaking
real.
some truth.
You'll appreciate the name of the band that provided that music. Well, that was from Karen's brother. Well, it wasn't that band though. This was a band called COD.
But Don, my brother Don's playing the guitar. on
Not singing Raiders, the thing after that, or the movie guys' music.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, still hear it over and over.
Anyway, we'll get more music from them later. The actual band's name is Sweet Ass Cream Corn.
That's
that real?
right.
what
Yes,
they came up
that is
with.
real.
Wait,
They
whose
thought
band
about
is
it.
that?
Her
My
brothers.
brothers, they're
That's
a heavy
his
metal
name?
band. They're
They-
back in Western New York, though.
They
so
are born and bred of heavy metal.
Yeah, it's all
Wait, let's-
heavy metal all the time.
Let's go through that for a second.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Why that name?
I think it's because they used to be called rhodium, and nobody back home could
Rhodium.
rhodium, which
But-
is a metallic element.
A heavy metal.
Heavy
it's a
metal.
great name
Yeah.
for a band.
But the
Yeah.
problem
heavy metal.
was the people in the
We're
town.
catchier than bismuth.
They wouldn't. Their imagination wasn't captured by it. So my brother's like, "All right, what's something that these people can respond to?" And they liked sweet ass cream corn.
Sweet. Yo, you gonna see Sack?
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of the
SACC.
simpler
Right?
thing.
It's simpler.
But
Is then they think balls or
we are
something.
sack.
is it heavy metal like Pantera, which I see more speed metal, Metallica is heavy metal, or is it hair metal? Is hair metal back?
It's a mix. It's
It's a
made.
Gotta be
mix.
coming back, right?
Yeah.
It's
It's coming back.
Gotta be, right?
Oh my God! Well, they also have another band. Oh my God! Get this,
If
Jamie.
vests were
How
just
do you
back,
So
how
they're
could
in another
heavy metal not be?
band. They're in another band that's a cover band where they all wear spandex and the hair and everything. And that is called hair. Oh, what shit? They stole the
Yeah.
name.
Oh, Headbangers,
Headbangers Ball.
Oh.
which is the name of an old TV show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
And people seem to relate to that because
Oh,
Because
Headbangers
they've
Balls.
heard of it for 20 years.
yeah, and they love sack and balls. It's just
Sack and Balls this weekend
yeah.
at the Rusty Nail. Got your tickets now. I also want to give a quick shout out to our partners in crime, the Hater Nation. They've gotten themselves into the Nova Film Fest. Anyone gets
great.
involved with movies, we're a big fan. So shout out to them. This Northern Virginia Film Fest brings over 200 films and scripts into competition in the Fairfax, Virginia area. So go to novafilmfest.com for more information and be on the lookout for our buddy MC from the Hater Nation,
What's up, everybody? TheHaterNationShow.com.
as he will be pulling hosting duties at the fest. So he'll be up on stage. Pants, he said, are optional. So you might want to go.
Perfect.
All right, well, let's talk about our first movie of the weekend. Let's see if we can get you interested in what it's about. It's called Run All Night. Liam Neeson plays an aging hitman.
Sold.
All right, that was easy. Let's preview it.
You know, Paul, in case you were wondering if your entertainment dollar was going to be well spent at the movies this weekend, IMDb describes Run All Night as an action, crime, drama, mystery thriller. So, all bases covered.
Neeson plays Jimmy Conlon, a mobster and hitman, but the charming and likable kind of mobster and hitman because, you know, he's Liam Neeson.
Ed Harris plays a mob boss, Sean McGuire, but he's the real hard-ass condescending type of mob boss with a Napoleon complex because, you know, he's Ed Harris.
Conlon is known as the Gravedigger, being one of the few mobsters to come up through the ranks of professional wrestling.
In what we can only assume is a tragic and unfortunate turn of events, Conlon shoots and kills the son of his mob boss, McGuire, as he was presumably given no choice but to take the life of the mob boss's son, as said son was about to kill his own son. Confused? Well, that's just because I used the word son too many times in that sentence. It's a simple movie, really.
Let me explain. No, there is too much. Let me sum up.
Man kills man's son. Father of the killed son wants to kill the son of the man that killed his son. See? Simple. Paul, let's play a clip. Maybe that'll help.
I'm here asking for my son's life, Sean. He's a good kid. He's got a family. He don't deserve this.
You know this has to end. I'm coming after your boy with everything I got. And when it's done, and it will be done, then I'll let you die.
I've seen Liam Neeson movies. Shouldn't this conversation be taking place on a phone?
Right.
I think I get it now. It's actually pretty simple, as I said. To protect his own estranged son, Mike, played by the Joel Kinnaman, Jimmy kills mob boss McGuire's son.
So worth it.
Oh, my God.
Wait for it.
Who he loves so much that he made him a hitman, never thinking that that might be a dangerous line of work.
The enraged McGuire puts the word out to every mobster in New York to hunt Mike down and kill him. There's only one man that can save him, the father he hates for abandoning him. This is my kind of family issues movie, one that must be resolved during shootouts while on the run from the mob.
And just when you thought things couldn't get more dangerous or the acting couldn't be more full of gravitas, it also stars Vincent D'Onofrio as a police detective who's been tracking down Jimmy for 30 years, but who also received a handsome payoff from the mob to ensure that this movie has a time frame of a single night.
But these Liam Neeson movies succeed or fail based on the director. I'm kidding. I won't even look up his name. In fact, I'm just going to say Liam Neeson wrote and directed everything he's been in since Taken.
Actually, Paul, I'll name him Jume Colette Serra. He's your man if you need Liam Neeson on your movie poster holding a gun. Isn't that right? Run All Night, unknown and nonstop.
Colette Serra, if you're right, brings all this action to New York City, which is good news, because since the Charlie Hebdo shootings, they've stopped filming action movies in Paris, up until now leaving Liam Neeson homeless for killing bad guys.
Now, normally in Hollywood, nepotism is a good thing, but between this and the Taken films, it kind of sucks to be related to Liam Neeson.
There you go. And that's everything you need to know about Run All Night. You feel better informed, Jamie?
Jamie, what'd you learn?
I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's probably not
it's
the
Liam
the wrong
Neeson
way
with
to
a
come
gun.
on.
He's with a gun.
What else do you need?
That's what I get from the poster.
He's kicking ass in his 60s.
Yeah.
That's
You
all
know,
you need to know.
I think ever since that tragic death of his wife, which is sad,
Yes.
he's been kicking ass. It's
Yeah.
like he's pissed and everyone has
It's
to...
like someone took her out.
Yeah, right? And he's getting
just
revenge.
getting revenge, yeah.
Is Common in that movie?
Yeah.
Now, is he the guy on the poster with the weird lip? He's got something on
I
his
think
lip?
so.
Because it doesn't look like
he's
him.
weird looking
Well,
on
you
the
know why?
poster.
I felt
He
like
does-
they did a little thing on his lip to make him not Common.
Yeah, the weird four heads poster.
Well, I think he doesn't have his usual goatee. Maybe his goatee is often covering up a weird lip
God, I hope that's not true, Common. I'm sorry. I thought... No, I'm like, oh, is that Common? So you're right, it doesn't
thing.
have...
Well, Joel Kinnaman. It could be Joel Kinnaman you're
boy.
talking about, because I don't know the
Joel Kinnaman.
I thought somebody had
had
something weird on their lip, and I thought that doesn't look like any...
Joel Kinnaman's probably not easily confused with an African-American male.
Yeah.
Even with something on his lip. You can tell them apart.
You got some Joel Kinnaman on your lip.
We all remember this sound effect from Transformers. You ever lead a conversation with that line? You ever remember this sound effect from the trailer to Transformers? It sounded pretty sci-fi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
Yeah.
futuristic. Now it's in everything. Here it's in Run All Night.
So what happens now?
That sounds more sci-fi.
Sean's gonna come after you, Michael.
There's so much noise.
And if he can't get to you,
It sounds like he's going to get hit by the L. It sounds like a train is coming, and he's trying to talk, and like the train keeps going
At one
over.
point, the subway goes by as the trailer percussion, which I call it, goes by.
Dude, you're seriously a movie freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you discovered that.
Goddamn right.
I mean,
There's
oh my God.
Because here's
That's
the deal.
amazing.
We you just talked about
Right? You all agree on that?
Liam Neeson with a gun is all you need, right?
He's a movie guy.
Liam Neeson with a gun is all you need. I've
Yeah.
said this from Bruce Almighty. Jim Carrey plays God. I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't need anything else. Then the trailer fills it full of, all this noise, and it's unnecessary.
So what happens?
So then you looked up the sound clip? Or you
Well,
just
it just
know
reminded
off the
me.
top?
Well, okay.
Dude,
I'm a movie guy because it
Jamie.
reminds me of.
It's the same thing.
Jamie, you don't understand. This is what I go through every week. So I'm like, yay, Cinderella. And they're like, hey, did you hear Bwong? Bwong played again in that other movie. There's another noise that in all these trailers, and it's called Bwong.
I'll take it one further.
These guys all know it.
I'll take it one further. In all the horror movies now, it has that like something.
He's right. He's right. He's
Like
right.
Jamie, all we're doing is paying attention.
Let me ask you a question, because you guys are married. So let's say, you know, it's Thursday night.
Yeah.
And you guys did all your duties for the day.
Sure.
And
Posted the movie guys to the
and
web.
you've got your queue lined up, and something's screening on your TV. And maybe you guys are getting ready to do the act.
Sure.
Does the act get postponed if a sound effect comes up that he recognizes?
Yeah, because he has to go and he has to sample it, and then he has to go, hang on a second.
If it goes, that's a
affect-
bad sound effect for getting into the act.
That's a Transformers-ish.
Do you make those sound effects in the bedroom? Is probably a good question.
Oh,
as well.
absolutely. Absolutely.
What are the sound effects that happen?
Not yet, but you're bringing me around.
Excellent.
Definitely that one's made. And we actually, you know how like in all the old horror movies, well, not the old ones, the new ones where the person goes up on the ceiling and their head goes spinning backwards. A lot of that happens.
See, that almost sounded like it too, right?
Right?
This is
the string.
This is climax right here. This is it.
No, that sounded like for a second. That sounded like Oculus, and I thought, what are these guys' amazing sound effects?
Everywhere I go, I got the Oculus sound effects on my phone. I'm just wherever I go. I'm a movie guy.
All right.
Well, listen, Run
Never know
All
when you
Night
need to
brings up a
punctuate life.
pattern we've seen in movies. We're talking about movie patterns, right?
Right.
Trailer patterns, things like that. We notice more and more
Sound
actors
effects patterns.
they're getting mumbly and
Yes.
gravelly. We heard that clip right like this, right? I don't know if it's a character choice or something that brings gravitas to the scene. Who knows? But it's rampant. So we wanted to bring in our second guest to the show.
Oh, very exciting.
To go in depth about why actors are grovelly and gravelly in their voice. He's been here before.
Yes.
Industry insiders know him as the vocal coach to the stars. It's Chet Loudly, everybody. Chet Loudly. Oh, wait a second. Let's get you the proper applause. There you go.
And Chet's even wearing a nice jacket, too.
Thanks, Paul. Pleasure to be here.
All right, now we were listening to a scene from Run All Night, and it sounds like the Harris and Neeson actors in it, they're gargling marbles. We're not off on this one, are we?
Not at all, Paul. It's a choice epidemic these days. A choice-edemic. Or stupid. I think you pointed it out in Will Smith's character from Focus a few weeks ago.
Oh, let me play some of that.
There's no room for heart in this game. It'll get you killed.
And we're just a month away from Vin Diesel growling his way through another Fast and the Furious movie.
Give him a reason to stay. Wasn't hiding. That's the deal. Take it or leave it.
But that's all the rage these days.
Oh, wait, now how did all this start?
Well, a lot of people think it started with Batman.
Where is he?
I don't know where he is. He found us.
He must have friends.
No, it makes sense that Bruce Wayne wouldn't want to sound like himself as Batman so he could maintain his secret identity and lisp as Bruce Wayne as well. And of course, they went that direction. Now, you don't want him to sound like, hi, I'm Batman. Swear to me. You know, you don't want that.
Yeah,
right?
no, but they still wouldn't think that's Bruce Wayne.
No.
But not a good superhero voice.
No, that's my point. That's my point. Paul, that's my point.
Okay.
But Christian Bale went very far with it. You can't out-Bale Bale at this point. So people are trying to find a middle ground between mumblecore and full Bale. I think it began with Burgess Meredith in Rocky.
He's just another fighter.
No, he ain't just another fighter. This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry. You ain't been hungry since you won that belt.
I think people have been trying to do what he's been doing for years. Nothing Mickey ever said was unimportant.
Now, is there any truth to the idea that these two actors in Run All Night, Neeson and Harris, they're just trying to emulate the greats like Brando, who mumbled a lot?
Oh, absolutely. Remember the great scene in Heat with De Niro and Pacino? They sat and mumbled the plot in that famous diner scene. Well, Harris and Neeson were in a restaurant in the trailer for this and probably said, hey, we should do that too. Here, I mashed them up so you can compare.
You did? Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm here asking for my son's life, Sean.
You know, we're sitting here. You and I are like a couple of regular fellas. I mean, you do what you do, I do what I gotta do.
I'm the only one ever cared about you. And all of that ended an hour ago when you killed my son.
There's a flip side to that coin.
This movie I want to
What
see.
if you
yeah.
do got me boxed in?
These 4 guys on screen.
And I gotta put you down.
That is amazing. See, I just don't think I could put in the time required to grumble my way to an Academy Award.
Nonsense. It's all about taking the banal and adding a gravelly voice. Boom! Whatever you're saying suddenly gets urgent and people start paying attention.
Well, it certainly sounds like the broadcasters on NPR who are directed to talk with vocal fry.
It's a lateral move from that to a gravel voice. Here, I brought in some famous movie lines that shouldn't at all have a grumbly delivery. Now, you see if you can make them important. Karen, go ahead and give a start. Give a famous line from movies, the NPR vocal fry.
There's no crying in baseball.
You sound like a grandmother.
I know. I don't know.
All right, no, lower your pitch. Now try to lower your pitch.
There's no crying in baseball. No, I sound like a transvestite. There's no crying in baseball.
Great.
Okay, now this has been enlightening to say the most. Now let's get on to all trying a couple of these. Go ahead. Who wants to throw one out?
I'm going to try one that I think we're all very familiar with, and then we would agree that if it were delivered,
give it the gravitas. Help him if you need to.
Oh, I didn't do
Chet.
gravitas.
So I have to open the bottom of the throat, Chet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, pretend that perhaps you've been kicked in the throat, and then, but while you had a Coke bottle in your mouth, and you got some glass in your throat.
The movie is about Liam Neeson, so just open up and pretend like he's coming in.
Jesus.
You need me to punch you in the gut before you do this? Sometimes that helps.
I'm going to let what Karen said settle in a little bit. Nobody puts a baby in a corner.
Oh, that was good.
Very good. Very good.
Here, let me try one.
Yeah.
Over. Nothing is over until we say it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Germans? Just let him go. He's on a roll.
Forget it. He's rolling.
Very good. Very good.
You guys are good at this.
Jamie, you're a
All right.
professional actor.
Wait.
You could probably make this happen.
Play Bale again.
Oh, here we go.
Play Bale.
All right, play him first?
Yeah.
All right. Jesus. All right, hang on.
Oh, see, I got you out of your rhythm.
Where is he? I don't know where he is.
Where is he? Hold on.
Good.
So do you
good.
want?
Practice.
I'm gonna do 2 versions. I'll do Bale as this one.
Okay.
Play it one more time.
Where is he? I don't know where he is. He found us. He must have friends.
Okay. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants.
You've done it. You've done it.
How was that,
Fantastic.
Chet?
That was great.
That was
That's
great.
the Bale
Absolutely
Batman's
great.
Chet,
SpongeBob.
Chet, this has been enlightening to say the least.
Hey.
What's next for you?
Oh, I don't know. Gonna go gargle with some glass myself. Am I supposed to improvise anything? Do I have a line here? Wait, sorry.
Well, Chet, this has been great. What's next for you?
Well, I'm off to the set of a new Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid movie. One of those two.
Oh, well, she does need to boost up her gravelly voice, probably?
No. Working on calming it down.
All right. Goodbye. That's Chet Loudly, everybody. There he goes. Saying thanks, Chet, for coming. Oh, there he actually
Would have worked
goes.
better if I'd stayed with just one of those two. You had both written.
Well, did you notice that in the hands of a real actor, Jamie Kennedy, Chet Loudly can really make something happen?
Well, that's why he's the best. You should have told him that when he was still here.
Oh, so Chet.
Is he in Burbank or is he North Hollywood?
Yeah, Chet's in North Hollywood.
Yeah, he's in North Hollywood.
That's a good point.
He doesn't like to go far.
For your next gravelly voiced role, Jamie, I think you need to get the best there. He really worked on you.
Yeah, what are you working on now?
For my next role?
Yeah.
We're going to discuss that after the script. Okay. You like that?
I like it.
You like that? Let's get all this out of the way.
All right, let's on to our next fucking movie.
And
All right,
Cinderella, okay.
Our next film is the untold retelling of the never-before-told story of Cinderella. This is a rebooted, reimagined adaptation of the fairy tale like you've never seen it before again, recently. Whatever. Karen, it's got the girl from Downton Abbey in it, so what do you say?
Ooh, let's preview it.
Here we go.
For this young Cinderella who's come out of nowhere, he's got about 350 yards left. He's going to hit about a 5-iron, I expect, don't you think?
Children and foot fetishists rejoice because a new adaptation of the time-honored classic Cinderella returns to the big screen.
In case you were wondering if your entertainment dollar was going to be well spent at the box office this weekend, IMDb describes Cinderella as an adventure, drama, family, fantasy, romance. All bases covered.
What can be said about Cinderella that hasn't been said before? Well, for starters, apparently now she's British, and her real name was Ella. Who knew? All right, enough of that.
While adaptations of cartoons and classic fairy tales have become all the rage, this is not Cinderella and the Huntsman, so the Wicked Stepsisters aren't ancient witches. No, this is a Disney movie adapted from a Disney movie.
Now, for anyone whose parents didn't read to them as a kid, Cinderella is the famous story about the dangers of indentured servitude from divorce.
When Cinderella is denied the chance to attend the ball, her fairy godmother steps in to turn her rags into a beautiful dress, mice into horses, and a pumpkin into a carriage. But never once during Cinderella's years of torture did she think about showing up to turn her stepsisters into reasonable human beings.
Good point.
Right?
To dance all night, the fairy godmother equips Cinderella with glass slippers, the least sensible clothing choice since aluminum pants. Let's play a clip.
Where there is kindness, there is goodness. And where there is goodness, there is magic.
Oh, I see. You couldn't get out of a Disney trailer without the word magic, could you?
This retelling of the classic tale has a few surprises. For example, in the trailer, we learn that the prince is a deer hunter.
Mow! Mow!
Willis out of here. Mow! You got an empty chamber in that gun. Mow! Put an empty chamber in that gun.
Okay, might not be that deer
Okay,
hunter.
not that deer hunter.
It's an accurate clip.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Hey,
That's
it's
all
not
right.
until Cinderella's fairy godmother bequeaths Cinderella a gown, a chariot, and fancy shoes to go to the ball does she truly feel like life is worth living. Once again proving that what really matters is what other people think of you, and that the solution to all of life's problems can be found at the mall. Well done, Disney.
No word yet if Disney intends to adapt 2007's Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time, to the big screen.
We'll see. You mean Cinderella 3 didn't already play on the big screen? Straight to video? Straight to VHS? Oh, 2007. Probably straight to DVD.
I actually think this looks like a really good telling version of this story. I actually want to see this.
It looks beautiful
Yeah.
to look at. I mean, whenever you look at Cinderella's dress, I'm sure you all agree that it looks like the dress you'd imagine.
Here's the
Right?
deal.
Am I the only one?
Jamie, does it look like the dress you'd imagine?
Yes.
Thank you, Jamie.
All those ruffles.
It's like Kingsman, the Secret Service.
Wait, he just said he's really excited for this.
I know. Bart's
was surprised by
stepping
that.
up. He also
He's not
loves
afraid to show
Titanic,
that.
though.
But what's the difference between this and the Into the Woods?
This one
Her
looks
dress
well,
is much better in this one.
I think Into the Woods would also have been one I would have been interested in. But when I heard that Cinderella was being remade, I thought, are they doing one of those? What was that Princess in New York movie that Enchanted?
Enchanted, yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that looked hokey. You could tell. This looks like it's been really well crafted and produced. So I'm excited.
Wow.
And she's really skinny.
I'm going to get Real Movie Guy on if you want me to do the Into the Woods Cinderella comparison.
Go for it.
Okay.
All right, get ready to nerd out.
Into the Woods. For some reason, Cinderella goes up to a tree where her mom lives, and her mom gives her a dress to go to the ball.
Is that about Cinderella?
It's about 4 or 5 different fairy tales meshed together in
Okay.
a big thing. But the problem is, she then has no countdown to midnight where she's suddenly going to be found out as a fake, and everything turns back into rags. So why she leaves the prince before the midnight hour, I don't know. All she does is sing about how much she wants the prince. She gets to see him, then she leaves.
Yeah, because he's a dick, probably.
Show us that. I don't get why she leaves.
Oh,
If then he's a dick. Why she go back 2 more nights?
So you're being
Because that's
logic.
what women do.
You're goddamn right. I'm being logical.
You're logic police on that.
I am logic
Right.
police.
Wait,
But
are you the guy that if I spell something wrong on Twitter, you then hit me up on it?
If you do LOL OMG, yeah, you're gonna fucking hear from me.
You're gonna hear well, hold on. I'm not gonna say that. He's the one that wants to do that because he wants to see Cinderella.
OMG, you guys! Cinderella opens Friday.
Hashtag excited.
LOL.
BRB.
And they put the LOL after nothing. Oh God, I just had an egg sandwich. LOL. That's not funny.
Not going to make you laugh out loud.
Yeah. Anyway, here's the deal.
That was awkward.
Kingsman.
We assaulted the very idea of the internet right there. We took it down.
Jamie, did you see Kingsman, the Secret Service with my boyfriend Colin Firth?
No, it looked good though.
It's really good.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about that later.
I think it was
We are?
probably
Oh,
after
okay.
the call, after all.
After the script.
Let's get off the script. I have to tell you, I hate scripts. Let's improvise. Let's talk. Why are we doing so much
Because
time?
we got to tell people what the movies are all
I know,
about.
but they got it. It's a remaking of Cinderella. Great. And it's Liam with a gun. Done. Let's talk.
We are talking.
I know, but we're not. We're just talking movie talk.
Okay,
I
tell
want
me
to
your
talk about
thoughts.
life.
Tell me your thoughts on Cinderella.
I don't care. I could care 2 craps.
Hey, fuck it,
Some
we're
honesty.
Well, I mean, I'd like the audition, but I mean,
All right, maybe it's time to introduce.
I don't think your group cares about Cinderella. Well, no.
Well,
let me tell you this.
I
I've gone.
represent the girls.
Well, hold on. I've gone to about 7 conventions. And I don't know
Cinderella
what this
conventions?
is. That would be creepy.
Or the fairy tale in general.
No, but horror, sci-fi. So I don't know. If your audience is not just that, then yes, you should talk about Cinderella. But if it isn't, if it's more horror sci-fi, then why do you care about Cinderella?
Well, there are moms out there, believe it or not.
Oh, that listen to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then
I know it's hard.
sorry.
Yeah. Well, Adam's mom.
Our moms.
She likes horror movies better than I do, though. Actually, she'll be psyched that Jamie Kennedy's sitting here.
That's true. That's true.
What if we told you this was from the director of Thor?
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's hard to believe.
Sweeten the pot for any
Wait,
guys?
is it Kenneth Branagh direct?
Kenneth Branagh direct.
Kenneth Branagh.
That's interesting. Now, when are they going to let him be Thor? Or are they going to let him be... Well, he's never done anything like this. In nature, this would be considered the lightest thing, right?
Well,
it's Cinderella, but it could be darker.
He could make it really dark.
See, I like Snow White and the Huntsman.
I like when they go dark.
Did you guys like the Huntsman or not?
Which one was that?
It looked cool.
Was that Julia Roberts?
No,
no,
it's the
it
other
was.
one.
Yeah, that was darker.
It looked cool. So
Julia Roberts was shiny.
I like that when they go I like that when they take these things and they're like, well, this was written like by the Grimm brothers back when there were the plagues and shit, and so they just set it there. You know, that's what Snow White did.
Maleficent went dark, and that was to the tune of like $500 million or something.
Yeah.
More.
So Cinderella is now going to be bright and cheery, and we'll see if people care.
Yeah.
Done.
Everybody who watches Downton Abbey will go see it. So.
All right. Well, that fucking.
It's not Downtown Abbey.
It's Downton Abbey.
Is it Downton Abbey?
Yeah.
It is.
Oh.
I know.
Let's get to our
spelling.
guest, for the love of God.
You don't have to.
No, we are.
Let's talk more about
This
Cinderella.
week we're. All right, we're looking at a formal
I got
introduction.
hangry. I got hangry there for a second.
What are you
hungry
and angry?
No, I'm fine.
We have water. It's a garage. Right? We're joined by a guy who's done a lot of funny stuff for close to 20 years now, from voice work on shows like Cranky Anchors and The Cleveland Show, films like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Boiler Room, Enemy of the State, As Good as It Gets. The list goes on. Jamie Kennedy, once again, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. That's it.
Hello. See, I like that better. Now I'm gonna all the other stuff I said. It's taking away that moment of you introducing me because I was talking.
I like it.
You have actually addressed a curse of ours, is that we cover so many movies that no one gives a shit about the next week. But, you know, we feel entitled to talk about them.
It's partially March's fault, because there aren't a lot of good movies coming out right now.
Did you know
February was awful.
Did you know there was a Diary of a Wimpy Kid sequel?
No.
Yeah.
That recently?
Yeah.
If you
we
listened
talked
to the
about
show,
it
you'd
for
know.
like 20 minutes.
Hold on. It came out?
And went out.
And you didn't even hear about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was a big franchise.
Yeah, no, that was
He was supposed to be on the week of the Lazarus Effect and stuff, right? It took a couple weeks ago because your plane got delayed. You could have been on for a worse week, I think, maybe.
Wow. Well, I'm not hating on the movies. I mean, it's hard to make movies and all that. So
That's true.
But I don't. Yeah,
It is.
I'm learning what your show is.
It is. Well, let's talk about an indie. Let's talk about Buddy Hutchins.
Whatever you want. Ask me whatever you want.
Yes, you have a movie coming out.
Well, I don't know if it's out because it's kind of out, but it's been stolen a lot.
Oh, no.
Really?
So the producers are like, and let me tell you something. I don't like to steal from our business.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm in it. And so if I didn't go to college, but if I did, I know a lot of college kids steal songs and steal stuff. And it's like, hey, it's the man. And then once you get with the conglomerate, you see what it is. You're like, oh, man, don't steal. But it's just part of our business. So anyway, that's part of it. And part of it is also really advertising for your movie. So people like it. So it's been stolen like over 150,000 times. So the producer's like, well, it's getting out there.
Oh, my God.
Nobody's really buying it yet. And but
curse.
Well, you can't. But actually, so it's actually coming out in Redbox now on the end of March 28th, and I think it's on iTunes and Amazon now.
Yeah, as of mid-February, I think Google Play as well.
Oh, okay, good.
To get out there and purchase it.
Now, is Google Play pretty big now, or ish?
I think so. It's always lumped in there with everything else when they say VOD. Now it's like Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, etc.
Yes.
So Jared Cohen, he's the director of this, right?
Yeah, you know him.
I didn't until this,
Oh, okay.
but I read somewhere that you were excited to work with him because you had seen some of his earlier stuff. What about his stuff brought you in?
Well, I did a movie for the Asylum. You know who they are?
Yeah.
So
the Sharknado and
that's when they blew up from Sharknado.
Yeah.
And then they were making a movie that they thought was a really, hardcore movie about a shark that gets in a tornado, and then it ended up being really funny.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And then they caught a sharknado in a
At
bottle.
what point did they realize that?
But they've done all the alligator versus giant octopus and
Yeah.
stuff. They have a sense of humor.
They're
They
really
can't really spin that like, no, we thought. I mean, it is called Sharknado. Also,
they're down the street, by the way, and they've owned a building, so they're doing something smarter than me. So they're really cool. They did this movie, and I did a movie called Foreclosed and went to Lifetime. And Jared was like behind the scenes filming like BTS. I don't know if you ever met him, but he's kind of like a Bobby D. And he's like, oh, hey, man, it's kind of like a young Bobby D in Mean Streets. He's like, and so he's like, yo, I got this script. I want you to look at it. And I did.
He talks kind of
He's
like the
He's in Buddy Hutchins.
He looks like Bobby D. De Niro. And anyway, he gave me the script, and I really liked it. And then I found that he directed. So first of all, he's amazing because he has no ego. So he directed 3 things for the Asylum, like 12, 12, 12. That was based off of 11, 11, 11.
Okay.
See, the Asylum does a big movie that's out, and then they'll
Yes.
do the Asylum version. So he did, when Orange and New Black came out, he did a movie called Jailbait.
Okay.
And so it was about women like having sex in prison. So he had all this stuff, and they did really well on the Asylum Underground and did great. So then I said, I like this script. That's how we started.
This is about, for those of you who don't know
Haven't
about Buddy
stolen
Hutchins,
it.
guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't stolen it yet.
In essence, guys having a crap day, and then it turns into a series of days. Marriage, job, all goes
yeah,
south.
he's having the worst time you could possibly have.
They do pound on that
and
poor
then
guy.
and then he gets a chainsaw. There's your movie.
That's totally it.
Yeah.
It's Jamie Kennedy with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Let's just get right to it.
The
You don't have to
poster is-
overthink that
yes,
yet.
the poster is you with the chainsaw.
Yeah, but
Jim Carrey is God.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson with a gun.
And now
Jim Kennedy with a chainsaw.
There. I'm in.
And here's your
Redbox.
elevator pitch.
$2.
I gotta say, because the Jamie Kennedy stuff that I knew about, like Scream and the Jamie Kennedy Experiment,
Yes.
was a much cuddlier, lovelier, nice little Jamie. And then this guy's got a fucking chainsaw, and people are starting to get split in half, and it was kind of exciting.
Let me ask you this. I don't think the movie was as gory when we were doing it because it was pretty gory. And I was like, oh, man. And then when I did the movie, like, some people actually, some people are hating it, some people like it, and some people are giving it interesting reviews. But I think the movie, at the heart of it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Because you get a chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But people are taking it serious, like, well, honey, what made you get a chainsaw? I mean, doesn't you get that too far? It's a chainsaw.
No,
The fucking movie box is buildings blowing up. Not one building blows up in the movie, bro. That was stolen from like some Taiwanese flick. I told them that. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it sells overseas. I'm hungry.
You're working at a dry cleaner. That's a dark comedy right there. That's sad.
Waiting to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
Where? In Van Nuys. Van Nuys.
Van
Down
Nuys,
up the
dark
street.
comedy.
The whole thing's set in the valley.
It's a Valley movie.
It's totally a Valley movie.
I thought we would do it and it would shock people, but people like it. I mean, in a funny way. It's a dark comedy.
Well, that's the thing. He's having the worst day, and then it's like it's the worst day times 10.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he decides to exact revenge, and then there's a chainsaw to the head. Like it starts one place and it goes all the way over here.
Pretty
I mean, it's
much.
kind of like
And then he gets away with it. I'm not even going to tell the people watching it. And then what happens?
well, that's a funny thing. It's like
He's in a band.
It does have a happy ending.
It does. It does. It has an up ending.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, Jamie, was it kind of cool did you do your own stunts? I mean, you had people were being split.
I did my own catering.
Chainsaw?
I did my own wardrobe.
It's an indie film.
I did it's an indie film in the 818. I mean, it was right about a step above.
So, like Lloyd Kaufman said
porn.
that if
Lloyd
people,
Kaufman goes, this budget is fucking low. Okay? Oh, my God, what do you guys do?
I can't make a movie for this.
There's no curb for me to sit on. Lloyd Kaufman. He's keeping all the dollars, by the way. No, but it was very low budget. But I knew that going in, and it was like I got a little piece of it. So I was like, it's an interesting model. The world is changing. It used to be paid X amount for your services, which you can still do, but it's a different amount now because, let's be honest, the internet has fragmented things. But, like, if you get a piece of a movie, and if it works, then that's how you get it. There's not many. Paydays are different now. I'm sure you know that. Like Liam Neeson was like one of the few guys to get $20 million right now, but it was for Taken 3.
Yeah.
But that was like after multiple proving. You cannot deny.
So you're saying that this phenomenon is existing on all levels in Hollywood? Not
Oh
just...
yeah, it used to be 20 million, some 20. I think that from my told, Arnold Schwarzenegger had the biggest payday at 28 million for Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Up front. Up front.
Jeez.
You like that? That's a little bit of movie nerds.
yes,
So
great.
now, the
So now
number
somebody like him is taking
This is
less
the
up
place-
front.
Oh,
off the
hell
back end.
yeah. The movie, well, first of all, these last couple of movies haven't been hitting.
Yeah, Sabotage and
Yeah, so and
You
now
say sabotage.
it used to be like there was a $20 million club. What I've been hearing, it's like 10 to 12 million now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that because they are taking something off the back end, or is it just there's nothing there?
Because people are stealing it. I mean, how many? I mean, fucking either movies a $200 million budget or it's the budget I just did. You know what I mean? And so I think there's so much product. You guys tell me, but it's just like how do you? There's no middle class anymore. It used to be, Scream was like considered a middle budget movie, $15 million. There's none of those anymore. It's either 1 million or 200.
Yeah.
Right. And there's no. I'm not going to go too nerdy on you, but back
Not
when
possible.
I moved,
You can out nerd us.
when I moved here, you had Disney. I'm gonna get really nerdy. So we had
Please.
we had Disney,
You're
right?
at the right show.
So you had Disney.
Yeah.
So you had Disney. You had Hollywood Pictures, and then you had
Touchstone.
Touchstone.
Yeah.
So you had 3 units.
Yeah.
And you can look this up. Each unit doing 25 to 30 movies a year.
Wow.
Now you have Disney doing what?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 10.
Yeah.
So everyone's like this. I'm like, yo, where the fuck? I got audition for waiter number 3. You know what I mean? So, but now there's all these
Off to Asylum, right? Man, off to Asylum. Movie.
Yeah. Call
Waiter number 3 is the star of an asylum movie. That's the guy that saves the day in Sharknado, right?
So it's fragmented now.
Interesting.
That's interesting. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Is it safe now for me to segue into something I saw on the internet that I love that Jamie did? Can we talk about
I
that?
got a clip of that.
Oh,
Should I just
okay.
start playing it?
Oh, please do. I love
I
this.
like it.
Okay.
And now, a very special piece about loneliness. What do you do if you have no friends? You live in a big, lonely city like Los Angeles, and it's your birthday. Well, you go to your local paint store, you find some new friends, pay them $100 each, and throw yourself a party.
Okay, so explain what happens in this
Okay.
episode of the Jamie
It is
Kennedy
my
experiment.
absolutely favorite Jamie Kennedy experiment. So he goes, as I said, he has no friends. So he wants to make a video for his mom and dad to show them that he's in LA and he's got friends and they're having a surprise birthday party for him. So he gets some guys from like Home Depot who barely speak English and he explains to them in broken English and broken Mexican or Spanish or whatever to throw him a party, and they're so adorable.
Oh my God,
They
I
put
gotta
on
see this.
party
I gotta see
hats.
it.
They sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow a number of times. Jamie has them hide so that he can pretend to come home so they can say surprise.
And do you pretend to bring your parents back?
Well, he makes a video of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And I don't know if this is true, but they look like they were having a blast.
Wow, that was.
It was so adorable.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
They were really sweet. Oh yeah, so
It was
pretty
so
much
adorable.
she just gave you the whole 2-minute version.
That's hilarious.
Liam Neeson with a gun version. But yeah, that's what it was. And these guys, the joke was on those guys because we went to Home Depot and we picked them up and they were like, okay. And then like we had egg races.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were,
We had a pinata.
the pinata's
And
hysterical.
they were
'cause
like,
they're-
yeah,
Oh my God.
And then I was like, guys, we got to surprise me.
Yeah. And they all do it.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, because you mean, what else are they doing for
awesome.
their $100?
Sure.
Yesterday, what they did for their $100
50.
was horrible.
50.
And then he made them 50.
Better
And
than
then
having
he
to build a
made
house
them,
for that.
He made them say nice things about Jamie.
Yeah.
And so the one guy had to say something dirty.
They did testimonials like,
Yeah.
Senor Jaime may have been friends for 10 years, but they barely spoke
They
English.
barely spoke English.
Great
So
guy. They
fun.
had a good time.
They did have a good time.
And then when we rapped, they were like, "Oh, you been X'd," and they were like, "Okay."
They don't know
still-
that you've been X.
To this day, they have no idea that was a show. They don't know anything.
The one guy was so into it, the one in the brown shirt. He was bringing out the cake to surprise Jamie, who probably gave him the cake and lit it. And he's bringing out the cake and he had frosting on his nose. I don't know what was going on.
I don't remember. Wow, you've seen it recently.
I loved
This was one of Karen's
I
favorite
love that.
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
It's so fun.
Well, I was a big fan of that show when it came on because it was like the first thing since Candid Camera
It
that I
was.
felt like that did that show. Have you ever thought about returning to it? Because right now the climate seems to be very ripe. There's a lot of shows out there that you obviously paved
But
the way
you
for.
didn't make. I found
true.
that you didn't make fun of them so hard as they do nowadays.
Well, I have a
And
dissertation
like
on that. This is what I don't like about the Borat movies, is that he basically takes advantage of a social trust and then makes somebody look stupid for trusting him. You never did that.
Yeah.
You did the classic.
Just pranking.
You did the classic candid camera, which is watch people react to me in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I'm the one suffering here, and you need to respond. Borat, it's funny, but he takes advantage of you trusting him, and then he lures you into a safe place, and then he makes you look like an asshole.
That's interesting.
I've
That would
thought
be
about
an
this.
interesting if you talk. I wonder what if you and Sasha had that debate. What he would say. That would be interesting.
I tried to bring this up with him at Shutters in Santa Monica.
Wait, oh really? Wait, with their microphones? Or was it just hey, Sasha, I got to talk to you about social trust. What was
literally
it? Wait a minute.
First, we got 10 or 20 jokes about Borat.
I gotta do it.
No, it went a little something like this. My girlfriend and I at the time were there for a wedding reception, and Sacha Baron Cohen walks through the lobby, and she goes, "It's Borat," and he ran away.
Oh God, yeah.
That's the extent. That's you trying.
That was your talking.
I was going to say, because I know that story, and the way you set that up, I was like, that's not what I remember. Yeah, but that's what I remember. She yells Borat, and he runs away.
There's another one that I love that Jamie does where he's got a yoga studio, and I loved how you looked in that. That was hysterical with the wig and everything. And he's leading yoga, but he pisses off these really big dudes outside.
They're doing construction.
Who are doing construction. They come in to kill the person who was yelling at them. So Jamie's like, it wasn't me, it was that guy. And then and it was a Mark. And so other people in the class are sticking up for the regular person trying to blame it on Jamie. I just love it.
See, again, you didn't
So
point
funny.
to just some random guy who's like, no, that was a Mark, right? That was a plan.
I panned to a Mark. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
so-
really.
I like that.
That's what I enjoyed about your show so much. And the guy that drooled a lot.
Thank you. Well, one thing we did is we really tried to plan out stuff. I think a lot of shows.
Wait a minute, you wrote a script?
No. Well, we didn't go, okay, thank you, Todd. Now, wait a minute. If Disney no, we had what we call outlines, like her. But it was, everyone was real, meaning the actors were faking it, but the Mark was always real. We never fudged it. But we researched people. So if he wanted to play a prank on her, we would set it up and we would find out what the prank is, and then we'd say, could she fit into this prank? And he's like, yeah, she absolutely hates water bugs.
Yeah.
And we know that if we had a prank like that, we would try to put it in. And I do think a lot of the shows, you can never just go and shock people. You can, but it's not going to be as entertaining. And we wanted to push it as far as we could. Like, I wanted one show to be the whole prank, and the network's like, you got to break it up. But,
That's very Andy Kaufman of you.
yeah, I mean, that would be more, but anyway, thank you, and it was good.
That's what I like about it. It was very reminiscent of I think it was Buster Keaton used to go on Candid Camera, and it was
He
just
did?
Yeah, wasn't it Buster Keaton?
Buster Keaton.
Yeah,
Was he alive?
Pretty old.
Yeah, he was really old, and he would sit at a lunch.
He might have been.
Buster Keaton?
Yes, look it up, Jamie.
Wow.
Oh, she's not here.
But he would just sit at a lunch counter and do goofy things, and then we would watch everyone else react to what he's doing, and that's what I enjoy.
Well, like, what do you say to a naked lady? That was the original Candid Camera movie.
That's the Candid
And
Camera
so that
movie,
was simple, but it worked because it involved breast. So, like, the whole movie was like a guy walking in a situation like the topless secretary. And she's like, hi, can I help you? And he's like, whip, whip. So that was good, but we want, try to go a step further. But Candid Camera, I love.
And segueing out of Jamie Kennedy Experiment, there's a common connection here because that's where you met Jim Zulovic, right?
No.
Thought Jim Zulovic worked on that, and that's
Jim Zulovic I met on the specials.
Oh, okay. You did meet him on the specials.
Yes.
Okay, because we all went to Second City, and
Which Adam would like to talk about.
I would love to talk about the specials. I'm a
Go
gigantic.
for it.
Okay, Karen's had her moment here.
No, that's
I will
fine.
geek out about the specials. There was a time, I must explain to the kids of America, where there were not that many superhero movies, and it was rare to have a good one. And in 1999, that was the good one. Well, actually, I think X-Men came out that year too, but that had been a huge drought. And there was this great movie, and I only knew about it because we knew Jim Zulovic, who was on Second City main stage in Chicago. Very funny man. And he was in this movie, which it turned out, for my interest, was a superhero movie. And as everybody's interest, also starred Rob Lowe, Thomas Hayden Church. There's a couple other I'm forgetting, but a really great cast of people. And it's a very, very funny movie. And one of my favorites of all time. I've given away more copies than I've ever owned at one time. I give it away, just gave one to my sister for her. Well, now it's written by James Gunn.
Yes.
And directed by Craig Mazin, who wrote Hangover 2 and 3. And
we don't give them away. You buy them and then give them as gifts.
No, I'm saying, yes, I am BitTorrent as a person. I buy them and then I just give them away to people. Yes, I've given away 3 or 4 copies
Make
of
sure
that
we understand that.
in my time. Yes, exactly. After I purchased them. But anyway, Huge fan, and of course I brought one of my favorite drops here from it.
When I first gained my superpowers.
Oh, Jesus. Nobody wants to hear your boring fucking origin story.
Let me ask you something, my friend.
You're not my fucking friend. Maybe every once in a while I want to go out and have a beer and bang some slut rag till her eyes bleed. And maybe I don't give a shit if it gets in the LA Daily Post. I save lives. I don't think I owe anybody anything other than that.
You've also tried to take lives.
Oh, you know what? It was a long time ago, okay? I was a kid.
Former villain.
Caught up with the wrong bunch of people.
You got caught up with the wrong bunch of people, mister. And now you're getting caught up in some pretty sick ideas.
Forget it. Forget I said a thing.
Nobody's saying that, Amok. I like you.
Amok.
It's just, sometimes I think you must be hurting so much inside because you're so aggressive.
You're 12-stepping me to death here, bitch.
Not appropriate. Back off!
Fantastic scene.
Our voices sound high in that. That was
yeah, I don't know.
Well, you didn't take the Chet Loudly course yet.
Yeah, you got some gravelly going
This
on
is why
there.
you need to take it.
He'll get down here eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I get it. First of all, thank you, because that was. If I could
huge
talk
fan.
about that movie,
please.
So I did a little independent movie with Judy Greer and Sean Gunn.
Oh yeah, Judy Greer.
And
Sean Gunn, who did Rocket Raccoon before.
Yeah.
He did him on set.
Oh yeah,
he was the alien. You hear him for just a second there.
And he, I met him, and I really loved him, and it's Judy, and he's like, my brother's a writer, and he gave me that script. And I've never heard of Lloyd Kaufman until James, because James did a lot of work for Lloyd. And I want to say, like, he wrote The Toxic Avenger, too. Like, he's definitely...
I think he did Tromeo and Juliet.
Yeah, no, he did Tromeo and Juliet, for sure.
Yeah, and you can see Lloyd and Garner.
And I think he did something on 3 or 4, or Toxic Avenger 4.
He had his hands in a lot.
Yeah.
And so then I read this script, and I'm like, holy shit, this is so smart. It's so funny. And so that was the first movie I ever got to produce. And so we raised the money when we got Rob involved. And there's just so many stories. I'm going to try to tell you 2 quick ones.
Please. This is my dream. I'm a huge fan, and nobody hears about this.
So we did this because of people like you. Like, I knew nothing about, the superhero genre. I'm not even a huge movie buff. I did know horror movies. I did love horror movies. So I wasn't Randy, but I definitely had some horror movies. But James was the first guy who ever really got me into that stuff. So the first book I ever read, he gave me a comic book. He's like, here, read this. And it was The Watchmen, way before the movie.
Nice.
And that's a really gripping book. If anyone,
that's fantastic.
It was my opener to comic books, and I was like, this is
That's
really,
a pretty good one.
That was dope.
It's all downhill from there, actually.
Yeah, it is.
And so I did that, and then we're doing this, and at that time, we were really stoked about it, and Mystery Men was being made. Remember that movie?
Yes.
And we felt that was the big budget version of ours, because we were the 6th greatest superhero in America, and we all lived in Silver Lake.
Yeah.
And we were basically, the group that calls when, there's an old lady in a building and you can't really get her, and the fire department's even late. You call us. You call Mr. Freon, or you call Thor for the big jobs.
Yeah. But
And
you got to
so-
get the specials if you have the fifth.
Yeah,
fifth most important.
in the
crime of
movie.
day.
We removed an anal slug or something from somebody.
Yes.
Somebody has to.
So that was really, it was great, and we just felt. And I think Mystery Man took the wind out of our sails. We never got the release, but number one, thank you, because we put it out there and people seem to like it.
Yeah.
But and I was telling a story the other day. I don't know if I can tell this, but people like behind the scenes, I think, more than anything. So let's see if I can do this. So
we do have the powers of editing.
Yay! All right.
We'll make this decision later.
So
Go ahead.
one time I'm sitting there, and it was like one of the early days of the set, and I love everybody involved. And Rob Lowe is there, and he was talking about something, and he says, I can't really do an impression. He's like, because he's like, I'm Rob Lowe. I'm like trying to do those commercials right now so I get his voice. And he was like, I'm Rob Lowe. Okay, so we were talking about something, and Laura Flynn Boyle came up. And at the time, it was Laura Tinfoil, because she was thin. That's what everybody called her. And I think Thomas was engaged to her for like 3 years or something. And he loved her, right? God, I hope no one hears this. So,
don't worry.
And somebody said something, and they brought up Laura Tinfoil, and And Rob's like, why would you ever be engaged to her? Like, Clint Eastwood fucked her on the roof of the London. Like, remember that movie with Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood?
Rookie?
The Rookie. Clint fucked her on the roof of the London. And, like, it was probably 2 hours on set. And Thomas Hayden Church goes, hey, Rob, nice to meet you. Here's Rob's opener. Here's a girl that you're in love with for 3 fucking years. And Rob goes, oh, yeah, remember when Clint Eastwood fucked her on the London? Good to meet you, Rob. I'm just saying, it was like really. It's like great, Rob, and then like it was so funny. There was like, so much shit happened. There was a lot of. I don't know if I can tell more.
Well, feel free to after we're done recording because I'll listen to special stories all day. There's one of my favorite lines from that, and we've played it as a drop to just punctuate other jokes. Is right after he does tell that origin story. There's one of the best lines is the dollar bill. Yes. He's the world's strongest man, but he's so stupid, which is such a great point. Like I don't know why Superman is also smart and intelligent. You could be that strong and stupid. And so Dollar Bill is the incredibly strong man who's super stupid. And after he finally tells his origin story, he goes, I'd like to change my answer. I'd like to change it to yes. Yes, I'd like to hear that story.
Yeah. It's funny. Some of the cast members, I saw Rob not long ago at the Emmys, not to sound like a Hollywood guy. Sure. I saw, and I was behind him, and I tapped him. He's like, hey, pal, how are you? And then I literally just tapped, hey, Ron, Jamie. And then I saw the Nightbird I love. I haven't seen her forever, which was Jordan Ladd.
Jordan Ladd, yes, that's right.
Judy, I haven't seen
She was in
a
Cabin
while.
Fever.
And then I talked to Sean not too long when the Guardians came out. I texted Jimmy. Let me see who else.
Sean Gunn.
Yes.
James Gunn's brother.
Jim Zulovic died. Poor Samantha. He's a great guy.
Yeah, we lost him.
Dollar Bill, I think, lost his mind.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's some stories. There's a few people there's some interesting backstories, but I think Craig I haven't seen. We Facebook, so I guess I should do better than that. So, but it was a great group of people.
Well, I'd like to tell a name droppy story if you don't mind, because we love hearing these stories.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Absolutely.
There's this.
That's what you want to know.
This was this great moment where I had some friends in town visiting, and they were work associates, and we were out.
You have a job?
I do have a day job.
This isn't how you make all your money?
He's only this guy.
Wait, he does. So you guys make the money off this, obviously, but you have to have a job still.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
You got to get a better.
Let's go with that.
You got to get.
Let's go with I need health insurance.
All right.
So anyway, we're out carousing on Sunset Boulevard. It was a work-related thing, and then I said, I'm going to take you to this real local restaurant.
Ooh.
Only real hardcore LA people go to. We went to the House of Pie.
Oh,
okay. Sure. Went to the House of Pie, and we had a celebrity sighting. So we're walking in pulls this Bentley Continental GT, black.
Tell us more.
Out steps this friggin' bombshell of a girl. Rolls out the driver's side, Jamie Kennedy.
Wow.
Comes sauntering into House of Pie, and I'm like, holy shit, it's Jamie Kennedy. And my friends were like geeked out. So I went over and I said hello to you, and something about I love you. You had a show on Showtime or something at the time.
I had a stand-up special.
Yeah, stand-up special, and you said something about that, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have cable." And you just looked at me like you fucking idiot.
Do you blame him, really, Bart?
No,
I don't blame him at all.
No, I totally got myself into this moment where she said, "Shit, damn it, there's hey Jamie, I love your work," and you're like, "Oh, did you see my show?" And I go, "No, I don't have cable." I walked away.
You have cable now?
Oh, I have a job.
You have the job.
Well, that could have been worse. You could have said, "Hey, Borat,"
and you would have ran away.
Isn't it?
So that's why I look familiar, because we had that moment.
You do. Wait, I'm trying. By the way,
this was years ago.
How many years? I'm trying to think. What
probably 4.
I love that rolled up to House of Pie.
Yeah. By the way, that's the only way to do it. I was so
like,
cool 4 years ago in a
the
Bentley at the House of Pie. Now can I get that car?
You had that car, right?
I don't have it anymore.
But that was you.
It was me, and I matted it out, and people were like, "You fucking idiot!" But I was like, I wanted to let Bentley know I didn't give a fuck. So I matted it out.
Message sent. Message received.
And people got. But now I'm like, have a Prius, so I'm like, I'm so
it's funny
not sexy anymore.
Because when Paul said you're doing the show, I'm like, sweet, I want to see this Bentley because I want to get inside of it.
I got rid of it because it was
You get like 3 miles to the gallon.
3 miles to a gallon, and then
Not
when
cost
you
efficient.
get a fucking bumper, it's like, oh, you have to wait 2 months for it to replace, and it's just like so hard to have. I like it. It's cool. You look like a pimp at the House of Pies, but it is not really a logical, practical car.
Well, you
so
know what,
I'm in a Prius.
You know what a Prius and a Bentley have in common?
What?
You can't do $30,000 worth of damage to either of them.
Ooh, that's interesting. That was a pretty good joke. It took
It's a
minute.
thinker. It's a thinker.
I love the House of Pies, by the way.
Oh,
and
it's
he
the
is
best.
right in L.A. heads.
Do you remember when they redid their bathrooms and they started?
Dude, it's nice
They
now.
did the whole thing over.
It's so disco now.
But
They
they
got like Coke mirrors.
Dude, the house. First of all, it's the only place you can go at like 4 in the morning in Los Feliz.
Get the
Not that-
Dagwood.
Number 2, yeah.
And there's parking.
It's parking. And number 3, the banana cream pie. I don't know if there's anything better. You agree with that?
I can challenge to that.
No,
Butterscotch.
Butterscotch.
No.
I'm with him on the banana
Yeah,
cream.
butterscotch.
Oh.
Right now, I'm thinking about it. And number 4 is if, like, maybe that night I had a hot girlfriend, so I think
She was nuts, crazy hot.
But there's times when
You were looking good, too.
Thank
I mean,
you. I
yeah,
appreciate it. There are times when you're dating someone and you're not so proud of it. You go to the House of Pies. No one knows you're there. That's the sneaky back booth, and you know what I'm talking about. Right in the back, or the patio. Who's going to see you at the HOP?
And it was like 2 in the morning when we were there.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah, she's hotter. You get down to the Dresden, right?
Hot? No, you go to now mess hall. Mess hall. You know what
Mess
that is?
hall?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah. That's
I haven't had to check that out. Where is this?
Los Feliz Boulevard. Whoa, I'm getting them a shout. At least 3,000 people are hearing this. Wow. All right.
Well, how do we get back to
Great
the movies
talking
you've
to
been
you.
in?
So,
I need to come off a House of Pies to bring up Bowfinger, but I want to.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, I was noodling around on the web.
Oh, that's right.
And I saw an old interview with
Bowfinger.
you, and you were talking about how you liked Eddie Murphy when you really started. Boom, there you are working with him in Bowfinger.
Yeah, that was crazy because not only was it him who was like my personal idol at that age group and still to this day, and then Steve Martin, who I was aware of and I liked, but I didn't. He didn't hit me at that sweet age of like 9, like Eddie did. So, you know, and like Steve said, like he was the king of the '70s, Eddie's the king of the '80s, Jim Carrey's the king of the '90s. I mean, you know, I mean, it's like.
Who's the king now, do you think?
Oh, that's interesting.
Louis C.K.?
Melissa McCarthy.
She's huge.
Yeah.
She is huge, and you know, I mean, she's really a huge star.
Louis C.K. doesn't have that film career, although he's funny as shit. God.
Yeah.
But you got Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen.
Or
Seth
Will Ferrell?
Rogen. Yeah.
I mean, he's got a comic
Will Ferrell
brand
still.
the way
Right.
they Will Ferrell. They have a comic brand like those guys
Jamie
did.
Kennedy.
Coming,
Jamie
creeping,
Kennedy.
creeping.
Thank you for bringing that back.
But wait, what were we gonna say?
Bowfinger. I just thought
yeah,
that was
it's
cool.
just-
You end up working with the guy that you sort of.
I got to be 3 months with his like Steve Martin sidekick.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that was like my character, and that kind of was. And he. Oh God, I got another story. Let me see
If it's Steve Martin, please tell it.
Please.
Well, it's kind of like with Heather Graham. I hope she doesn't hear
Even
this.
better.
So.
She won't.
Talk slowly.
Well, hot. I mean, you know, Heather Graham right now is hot as balls. Okay, and 1998, she was at the apex of her hotness. I mean, she's still hot, really hot. Okay,
indeed.
and
License
so
to drive.
yeah, dude,
No
one,
slouching license to
dude.
drive.
I know. I was gonna say The Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, but that was another girl. So. So she's there, and then like literally like we were doing Bowfinger's rehearsals, and then like during it, she's like, "Oh my God!" I was about to go look at my phone as a text, but they didn't exist in 1998. So like, she came back in the room, and she's like, "I'm gonna be in the new Austin Powers," and we're like, "Holy shit!" So she was going to Bowfinger to Austin Powers. So literally, she was on fire, and I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I'm like, we had these closed rehearsals. So I say that anytime you want to get to an actress, is you just have to, you know, stand next to them. Because nobody really talks to actresses. Nobody hits on them. So that's why you see like Julia Roberts with like a grip.
Lyle love it.
Or because I'm telling you, anyone listening right now, if you want to date an actress, just stand next to them.
Okay.
Or fucking get on a set with them. Because I'm just telling you, no one hits on actresses.
Hey.
It's too intimidating. So I'm like, there was like this little rehearsal group, just like we have now. And like Heather Graham was part of it. And she's hot as hell. And I was like, you know, these are good group rehearsals, but I think I need more rehearsal. So I'm like, that's how I am. She's like, okay. So like we go and like I go to Birds. I'm really dropping some local spots.
Yeah, there we go, right? Birds.
So I'm like,
wink, wink, audience in the Midwest.
You go to Birds. Birds. BYRD. And so I go to Birds, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a little wine, and she's like a real yoga guy. She's like, no, I'm cleansing. I'm like, I was always some kind of cleanse. Like, fuck, you know, I'm trying to. So then we actually rehearsed, and that was it. And she was really sweet to me. And I had a huge crush. So then, long story short is, I'm like flirting with her a lot, and my character flirts with her a lot. My character has a crush, so I have a crush.
So you're method acting,
kind of.
Pretty easy with Heather Graham.
And so,
take yourself to that place.
Something happened. You'll love this story. So I hope you know. Anyway, I'm in with like Nikki Cat.
Oh, I love Nikki Cat.
And someone
That's
else.
hilarious.
And like all of a sudden we're at a bar, and like I turn around and Heather Graham was there. We were all out somewhere, and she sees Ed. You know him. She sees Eddie. Eddie. Oh God, I can't believe I'm not
Murphy?
No, Eddie, who directed Brothers McMullen.
Oh, Ed Burns.
She sees Ed Burns. I'm sorry, Ed. I love you. I just forgot. So she sees Ed Burns, and all I do is I walk by, and I hear him say like, "I like the classics," and Nikki Cat's like, "Hey pal, he's dropping his movie talk on her," and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, the Bicycle Thief. I like the Lincoln Dark."
No.
And
He hit her with the Bicycle Thief.
And fucking,
that's such old game. I used to do that,
dude. And it's like in fucking this bar, and he's got the Bellini, and Heather Graham's like eyes, and I'm like, fuck. And then like he dropped like you know Scorsese, like Alice doesn't live here anymore, like pre. And then it was just like fucking wet vulva.
Which Maisels Brothers
and like,
movie do
yeah,
you like?
Dude. And like on Monday we all go to Lee's. I'm like, what? And Heather, I'm like, what'd you do? She's like, I spent it at Eddie's. We're dating. I'm like, what? And like, dude, and I'm like,
And I've got some Godard films I'd like to turn you on to.
And I love him. And he came to the set like a week after, and he's like, hey pal. Man. I'm like, hey. I was like, fuck. And then he did. And then he married another supermodel. So that was good. When he started dropping those references, though.
The Bicycle Thief. That sounds like me in like freshman like film school. Or
Don't tweet this at Heather Graham. Hey Heather, dish about you. Don't do that. So
something 400 blows. All right. So let's ask you what we ask every guest who comes on the show. What's your favorite movie of all time?
That's impossible.
That's what most everyone says.
How about today?
But they always have an answer.
Today.
Well, first of all, why I love Quentin Tarantino, because the little bit I read about him, I never met him, is that he looks at every movie accordingly. He is a great movie maker, but not a snob, and that to me is a real movie person. Like he is you guys, and he won't put Godfather against Meatballs or against SpongeBob, and they all have their validity, and that's the number one thing with critics in general.
Are you saying he would talk about Cinderella?
Yeah, he would.
Thank you, Paul.
You got X.
Wait, I know.
Come on out, Quentin. Quentin, come from the back.
I was just saying what
I know
about
what you're saying.
Oh God! That was good. You served. I'm gonna say served. #served. I got served.
LOL.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, look, I just let me name the movies off the top of my head. I love Jaws.
Yes.
I love not only Rosemary's Baby, but I also love The Tenant. I love, obviously the two Godfathers. I love, old school with Will Ferrell and Vince Vaughn. I love The Exorcist. I love Scream. I love, I can't even announce them, but there's like.
Let me ask it this way though.
I love Pulp Fiction. I love.
The one of the ways I ask it is, what movie can you watch all the time, always?
That's a great example. You know who Mike Fleiss is? He's executive producer of The Bachelor. And he's like, you know what, Malibu works, man, because like it's watchable. And it's like he's like, if you're vacuuming, you put your vacuum down, you kind of watch it. And so I do believe those are a really good example. Let me think.
So for me, it's A Few Good Men.
Wow, really?
I can watch that over and over. And Ocean's 11, the new one.
Wow.
That movie, if it's on, I have to watch it.
I know what you're talking about. I have to think of them off the top of my head, but yes, there's watchable movies.
Well, for me, Pulp Fiction is one of those simply because it has the chapters, and so when you get to a chapter, you can like get back to your life if you have to.
Totally watchable.
But I like the thing of taking each movie as they are, and I will go off on this sometimes, especially because I love criticizing critics. There's nothing I love more than reading a bad piece of criticism, and 99% of all of it is, and just going off on that. Because, as I always say, so many people, just because you like pottery doesn't mean you can criticize paintings for their inability to hold water. So Transformers 4 does not need to be the bicycle thief, Mr. Critic. However, the rules it creates on its own, it succeeds or doesn't succeed by, and that's just an example of one that got widely criticized this summer. I'm like, no, it doesn't set itself up to be anything other than it is, and it succeeds at what it's trying to be very well. Unlike the other Transformers, which I don't think succeed in what they're trying to be. That one did. I don't know.
But wait, let me ask you a question. So that makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's obviously satiating a need.
Yeah.
So our critics, because I don't really read that much of them right now, are they literally going out there and still like going like, oh, what happens, Mr.
Yeah, because it's about them. It's about them hearing their own voice. It has nothing to do with that movie.
That's going to be outdated because I just think there's no middleman. Like there's going to be less. It's peer to peer. People know what they're getting with that movie.
You're right. It definitely matters. Yeah, it doesn't. That's a good point,
because
Jamie.
that's what's doing. We're getting rid of the food critic. We're getting rid of all those
you're right.
people.
It no longer matters. Is the difference?
We can just go to Yelp.
Yeah, it's still out there, but
totally
it no
true.
longer matters.
I'd much rather look at Yelp. And I'm not saying they shouldn't do stuff, but it is stupid. Like if it made $1 billion, you know what you're going for. You're not trying to cure cancer. It's not the imitation game. You know, it's Transformers.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know. Maybe people should do that.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, number 4. Number 4 of those we dug. Now you mentioned Scream in your list of your favorite movies.
Yeah, do you watch that?
I haven't watched it in a while. I've seen it probably 6 times.
I gotta say, I was never. I think Scream did something that Iron Man did. I never really watched horror movies or anything. It just wasn't something that got my attention. And I like Drew Barrymore, so they were brilliant to bring her in because I'm like, oh, a Drew Barrymore movie. I loved Scream. It brought me, who doesn't normally watch those movies, it gave me a reason to jump on board, and I just loved those movies.
Wait, let me ask you a question. You know what's interesting is that I thought that was the original thing that they did, and then I discovered Psycho did it, but I didn't know enough.
Oh,
but like they killed a huge star.
That's
so
brilliant.
When Drew got the offer for Nev's role, and she's like, "No, I want to be in the first part," which I thought was genius because if you kill a star, then everybody is well.
Oh, and she's on the poster.
I didn't know what to expect. It freaked my shit
Everyone's
out.
game.
Yeah,
But and then I realized they did that in Psycho, right? Or did
Yeah. No,
they killed a huge star in the beginning.
Very classic that they set for 20 minutes. They set up Janet Leigh as the star of Psycho, as the person who the plot revolves around, and then they just take her out.
And then who is the star of it?
And you're only Anthony Perkins.
Yeah,
And your only option then is to turn and follow him. You have no option. No matter how creepy you felt he was up until that point, he's now your main character. It's an amazing.
You did have the other 2 people following her to see what happened to her, but
sure. And that
where
comes,
they got to
back.
come in halfway through, then it becomes Perkins' movie. Yeah, that's a brilliant movie.
But yeah, you're right. Drew Barrymore is a classic nod to that. Is that if that can happen, then what else can happen in this movie? If Drew Barrymore dies in the first 10 minutes of the movie, who else is safe? It's pretty.
Now,
brilliant.
my 2 cents is that I always thought that because they were like Scream. No, I don't believe this, but this is just me. I don't know if they had a Scream 2 in mind. I know Kevin had treatments and stuff. I don't know if he had a script. I have no idea. I think that it was such a wild, successful movie that they're like, we got to do this, right? And then I remember in the first early scripts, my character wasn't as big, and then it got bigger. But people hated that I died. I kind of hated that I died. But I did feel like. I said you should kill off another character. Like if you killed off a lead character, that would freak people out more. But they didn't do that. They killed off me.
But did you know you were getting into something that was going to be because of all the nods in the script to the horror genre?
Yeah,
did you know you were getting involved in something that was sort of going to this can be kind of transformative, or you were like, here's another slasher movie?
Well, at the time, Wes's last movie was Vampire in Brooklyn, and that was like the state of horror movies. Like there wasn't a lot of horror movies. It was kind of dormant. And I remember going to Hollywood. There's a gym on like it was yesterday on Hollywood Boulevard in La Brea. There's like a 24-hour gym. And I started reading the script because I was trying to lose weight to go down to Mexico. I just got my first part in Romeo and Juliet. And so I'm on the Stairmaster and I'm looking at it. And about 10 pages in, I'm like, this is so fucking interesting. And I stopped and I went to the corner of the gym and read it. No, which doesn't sound weird, but it's really weird. I mean, I totally was enamored with the script, and I'm telling you, that doesn't happen that much. So I completely stopped, went to the corner, and read it, and I thought, this is fucking awesome. Like, it was just so,
cool.
well, you call it meta now, but it was pre-meta.
But there was no meta for horror at the time.
Yeah. And I knew it was being produced low budget, and I knew that they were going to use a bunch of unknowns, and I heard Drew was potentially involved, and I thought, if they make this, boom. And then they got Wes, and then Wes was like, went to put a stamp on it. So when we were making it, do we think it was going to be a pop culture phenomenon? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
But we thought we had something really interesting that if it was 10 years, you were like, oh man, culty. We thought it was going to be culty.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Wes knows how to frame some real scary sequences, and 2 especially.
So good.
That scene where Ghostface is potentially dead in the front seat, and Nev has to climb over him to get out of the car. I mean, you haven't seen anything like that before, and he builds this whole scene out of it. It was just great.
Yeah, he he does so much with music. Like, I was doing ADR, and there was a scare, and it was just a door. And so she goes and opens the door and just opens it, and when you're watching it, it was not that crazy. And then he put a... and it was so fucking freaky. I was like, wow. So he's really, obviously he's the master of his game.
Yeah.
When you arrived today, speaking of horror movies, you said you were just working on ADR for
Tremors. Yes.
5, right?
5. With Tremors 5 or Tremors Bloodline. It depends on what the name is yet.
Hey, and talk about one that cornered being a comedy horror movie early on. It was Tremors. Is it still the comedy element?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I'll tell you this. There's some comedy.
Okay.
I almost wanted to show you guys this, but
Tremors.
I can't put it on the web. But it's almost like I can show it to you, but you can't put it out there.
Okay. You can just show us it, and our reaction will be on the podcast.
Yes. So do you all?
This is cool. I feel so insider right now.
I know. And
do you? Well, I thought you'd like it. Do you?
Absolutely.
Are you kidding? Adam's exactly.
I said
the
that
person.
positively. I feel like such an insider
now, this is
because
rough,
I'm not.
So I'm trying to get in trouble, but we're not putting it out there. So it's like my friends, right? It's my buddies.
So is this whole segment getting cut, or are we just cutting the? We're not putting video.
No,
up.
you're
No
just
big
like,
deal.
I'm going to show you something. So this is just a rough look of it. Now there's no sound, but I just want to show you the look of it.
No sound as he
Okay,
turns
so
it
this
up.
is the rough. So this is still not done.
See, this is how things get stolen.
Boom. Now, did you see that? Watch. Oh, my God. Wait. I want you to see because I want you to see this. I'm not going to say too much about it, but that's the new ass blaster. And I can't really say because I don't know what Universal let me. But
that's awesome.
No, bro, they're like
when you played it through the first time, I was like, "Did that just happen?"
No, that's just the tiniest thing. I'm not even allowed to show that. But it's not
okay,
gonna go
we won't even
anywhere,
say what that is.
But that's the ass blaster looks incredible. I think
that's
so.
Awesome.
Like as real as the robots look in Transformers, I think.
Well, that's what technology
That's not done
can do.
yet. That's not done yet.
Yeah,
it's really good that technology can make your ass blaster more realistic. I'm happy.
Technology has come along to the point
Finally,
where
we're
ass
using
blasters.
it for good. America. Finding
America.
But it has a huge following.
America
but
wins.
I'm lucky to be a part
Take
of it.
that, ISIS.
We have ass blaster
political.
technology.
You're getting political again. Anyway, I'm excited for it.
That's awesome.
But I think it's I know it has a bigger fan base than I'm aware of. So
Now, is this Tremors with Michael Gross Tremors? Is that
yeah,
right?
which was
He's
really
the-
and Kevin Bacon
Yes.
is the original.
He's the OG.
I think they're in the first two actually, but and it was
Bacon
really
out-
funny.
Bacon was only in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Bacon.
Does Bacon return for 5?
He comes back and he's talking like this. God damn it.
Proud Chet Loudly graduate.
That's right. I taught Kevin Bacon.
Where is he? Costner's doing that now. If I've seen his latest movies, he's grumbling at the kids.
I teach you kids to run. Look, all of you.
We're gonna have a grumbly Han Solo, I think.
Dream.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Chewbacca, get over here.
All right, let's do a little something we like to call.
What did you see this week?
We have themes.
I will say, if you are a Quentin Tarantino fan, then what we are about to talk about here, you have got to go see. It is the lost Quentin Tarantino film, The Kingsman. Is that a Quentin Tarantino film or what?
Kingsman: The Secret Service. Did you see this movie?
It looks awesome.
It's so good. I
haven't.
love Colin Firth, so I'll see anything that he's in. And the fact that he's kicking ass makes me so happy.
This is the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of James Bond?
Oh yeah.
All right. This film does it. James Bond's better than James Bond now. Now, obviously, James Bond has gone through this whole thing. Now it's in this reboot of it, and we've lost some things. We've lost some gadgets. We've lost some Britishness. We've lost some, and so the fact that there's a secret. These crime fighters that are housed in this
the Kingsman tailoring
suit
store.
shop. So they're all about the suits. They're all about looking awesome
and gadgets like crazy.
And then yeah, they've got, but all their gadgets are like an awesome lighter that's a bomb or an umbrella that's a gun
like
and all
a
this
poison
stuff.
pen.
But it's just so like Sean Connery out the ass.
That
it's
guy's
awesome.
got a lair in a mountain.
Lair in a mountain.
And they fly their planes into the side of the mountain.
And Sam Jackson's a bad guy.
Wait, don't tell me too much.
With a lisp.
Okay.
I have a question. So, is it an original or is it based off something?
Based on a graphic novel.
Based on a comic book by the same guy that created Kick-Ass and Wanted.
Oh, so and it's the guy who directed it.
And it's the guy who directed Kick-Ass and X-Men First Class.
So it was and it was an underknown comic.
No, it was known. It's Mark Miller. He's a big comic writer. He created the Ultimates, which basically is kind of what they based the Avengers on. Is this Ultimate version? The fact that Nick Fury looks like Nick Fury in the new comics.
The Ultimates.
Yeah,
The Ultimates.
That's
is a
Mark Miller.
Fantastic series.
I've been reading Mark Miller back since Justice League of America.
I've read the Ultimates. I just didn't know it was him.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that Adam and I have something to
I know. This is her man. This is her man.
I told you on the show that Kingsman is the the thing that brings us all together.
But
We
you're
want
gonna love
action. We want Kick-Ass. She wants comic
I want to
first,
see
it's all
it,
there.
and I think it's probably one of those things that'll be a sneaky franchise. I think it's probably going to.
I hope so. Oh my
the
God.
word of mouth is great.
Oh wait.
Well, I'll tell you this.
You've been very quiet, insurance boy.
No, I'm
You're the only one that
I haven't
didn't see
seen.
it.
No, I saw something else. TBS. TBS had a great.
He tells us what happens on TV.
He tells us what's on TV.
I don't go to movies
know, right.
anymore, Jamie. I just watch what's on TNT and TBS over the weekend. That's my.
Well, what you see? Go. Cut to it.
No.
Three Kings?
Please continue.
Well, the Kingsman Love Fest could go on.
Oh my God, Kingsman.
I saw something.
But I don't want to spoil anything for Jamie.
Don't tell me.
Sorry, hold on. One more
Except
second.
for Freebird.
Yes.
Please,
Okay.
Freebird.
All right, but we want. Let's just say that this movie is awesome. It's got such a confidence about it. It's got such a kick-ass nature, and yet in nice suits and classic sort of Sean Connery. And then there's this ending moment, just when you think this movie can't get any better. And I will not spoil it. In a couple weeks, we may talk about it. But yes, it is to the song Freebird.
Don't tell me.
So good.
Well, no, Colin Firth has not been in an action movie. He said on the Daily Show he's pretty much internet's voted least likely to ever be in an action movie, and he has made up for lost time with this movie. There's ass kicking all over this movie. It's so great.
And he's kicking it.
Yes.
He's kicking much of
He
it. There's a
is
scene where he
kicking
kicks
so
more
much
ass in one scene than anyone else all year.
Let me see. The movie looked good and everything, but let me tell you what turned me off about that movie.
Uh-oh.
Why was Sam Jackson like rocking the hat to the side, looking like
And he's
B-Rad's
all
uncle?
lisping and
What
stuff.
was
That's a good question.
So I'm
Never really
gonna
explained.
Okay,
Well, except he's a big. What is he? A music producer, movie producer, or something? So he's kind of
very
like
eccentric.
Yeah, he's an entertainment
Clearly.
figure who has this side business of being an evil mastermind.
Yeah, he's kind of like a hip hop Richard Branson or something.
Yeah,
right?
and he's
Exactly.
missing
Yeah.
like a white cat that he pets. He doesn't have that.
So the hat to the side didn't take you out of it.
No.
All right.
It's his character is just is awesome.
That's enough for you. You're out.
I liked it. I'm like, why is this guy who's 65 years old hat to the side? That's all. That's my.
I'm done with the Jedi, but why the bathrobes? They just wake up. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Why?
All right, Lee, you have to go see it.
Lee.
So.
Yeah, I do want to. Actually,
You should. You really will enjoy the
see it.
fuck out of this movie.
But I saw something that we reviewed or previewed, gosh, a couple years ago now, and it is actually a very good movie.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh.
Has anyone seen this?
Have not.
I
Well,
did.
actually, I saw part of it. It's not that great.
I'd give
What
it
I
a
saw.
It was okay, but I do think that Daniel
But maybe-
Craig's behind looked amazing. They did some lighting.
Maybe lowered
or
expectations
something.
at this point.
I
with,
was
you know-
vacuuming at the time, like making
Vacuum.
buddy sip. Yeah.
Vacuum flick.
But what I really enjoyed about it was, what a great idea to have aliens visit the Earth during a time that's not now.
Yeah.
It could clearly happen back
You
in
mean
the
like
1800s.
when it happened with the pyramids?
Yeah, like when they built the
you know.
pyramids. Absolute good call, Karen.
Conspiracy.
And then I saw Ghostbusters, and I told you that I have a new favorite extra actor in that.
I'm going to look
you don't
for
know
her.
this, Jamie, but Karen's a big fan of Ghostbusters, and she has a particular axe to grind with one of the extra actors in that movie.
That once pointed out, you'll never miss him.
Yeah.
He is so awful. He looks like a goofy Conan O'Brien, if there is such a thing, and he just screams, "Ghostbusters, all right!" He's horrible.
And he's the one that runs after the
And
car.
he runs
right?
after the car, and he's in
Yeah,
every scene, and he just sticks out. He's got this like lesbian hairdo. It's horrible.
And so it takes you out of it.
I can't take it.
But there's a new extra actor you need to watch for. It's a woman standing at the barricade line when the earthquake occurs in front of the building, just as they're about to go in, and she faints because everyone's falling down, and she literally just melts like a candle into the scenery. It's hilarious.
So you're saying it was people that are doing bad background acting.
Bad background.
What was the one we were watching where the guy just runs and tumbles?
Die Hard.
That's what Die Hard
2.
Die Hard 2.
Yeah, they're clearing out. They're clearing out an airport, right? And one guy just decides to go,
and does a somersault.
And then he like stops and he rolls. And he gets up. And he does it again. Like it's so calculated. It's just a really bad extra. It's their moment in the sun. They figure I'm gonna do this. I got this is my time.
I'll be easy to see at home.
Did you see that on the first one, or is it after multiple viewings?
I worked in a movie theater then, so after a while, I'm like, is that fucking asshole again?
But anyway, Cowboys and Indians.
It's a good one.
Was a good movie. I thought it was a great premise. Sam Rockwell's in it. He's great. The Butt is there.
That's right.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's butt.
Yeah.
Did you see anything at home, on a plane, anywhere?
It wasn't a movie, but can I talk about non-movies?
Sure.
It's called The Movie Guys. I finished Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, nice.
And I have to tell you, it's I don't know. It might be as good as Breaking Bad.
Shut up. I'm interested
awesome. Have you
now.
seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I love Breaking Bad.
So I do these conventions sometimes, and like sci-fi conventions, and I saw now the biggest star on the circuit right now is Norman Reedus from Walking Dead.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
He's a superstar.
He's
and then,
super sexy.
You want the greasy hair?
Yes, he's Daryl.
And then
he wears the greasy hair onto Conan. That's what I don't.
He is so sexy.
The second guys are the guys from Sons of Anarchy. They're huge. So I met one of them, and he told me to watch it, and it's so fucking good. It's so real. It's it's amazingly acted. Great stories. I watched
Tough as Nails, right?
December 24th, and I just finished it this week. So I was pretty much this is 98 episodes.
Oh wow!
And I was watching it,
and it's over now, right? You watched the finale.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm making a note.
And I watched it like this. I watched it on my TV. Then I would watch it at my mom's, on her when I visit her. Then I'd be on a plane. I watch it on my phone. Exactly how people want you to view shit.
Yeah.
I was that into it, and it was just, it's great. I mean, I love it. It's fucking real, and it was awesome.
Did your mom have an opinion on the biker gang sex and violence when you were watching it at her house?
She was wondering why so many tattoos. No, she didn't. She doesn't watch it. She's still fucking trying to catch up on all the family.
No.
No, but it's just so, I just loved it, so that's what I watched.
The thing is, I never heard from that. Like, you would hear as these big shows are coming to a close, you would hear there's these big story arcs that are being. Was there a huge story arc in Sunset? Okay, so
shit that happens. The show, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give you anything. Why I love it, and I'm not trying to. This is you guys like genre movies. You're talking about that.
Well, TVs are now movies. That's what we say when we get into TV discussions.
That's
movies now.
That's a 98-hour movie or whatever you watch.
And it was totally. Yeah. And it was so fucking real. But the movie is basically, the whole show's about loyalty.
Yeah.
And like how you have to be loyal, and it breaks down on multiple levels and who you're loyal to. But I'm telling you, I'm nerd out on that, and it's just well done. And Charlie Hunnam, fucking the man. I was wondering what it would have been like if he was in 50 Shades, because he had the offer. And I wonder, and I know the movie's a huge hit. I don't know what people are saying about it. I know it's a huge hit, but
the lead's already not going to be in the sequel. Did you hear that?
No, I heard he is now. I heard he is now.
I was hearing reviews saying that he's not man enough to be the man in charge.
Wow,
he's like a boy.
Well, that's what Hunnam is a man. Hunnam's a man.
See, that's what you need.
He's a real
Chicks
dude.
find real men sexy. I don't know why they have these like little. What do you call them? Kissable teens.
Huggable, kissable teens.
Smooth and kissable.
Wait, that's in the. But no, that Jamie Dorman's very good in the show called The Fall. Watch The Fall. It's a very
That's
good.
coming back too. Yeah.
And so, but no, I agree with you. It's the same with Hollywood, who they try to tell you who sexy is. My opinion, just my opinion, by the way, is pretty.
Come on, Jamie. Who's the sexiest?
No, pretty is not sexy.
No.
So I'm not gonna name fucking names, but it's like
I'll name names.
Well, who you? Well, I gotta work in the business.
No,
okay, so I'm not going to fucking.
Bart's got the day job.
Yeah.
What's the insurance? I'm not going to Geico.
Angelina Jolie is pretty. She is not sexy.
No, I actually disagree. Now maybe
Jennifer Aniston is actually one of the few people that is both.
I think Angelina Jolie well, she's a little older now. Not that she's old, but I'm saying when her younger like Gia days, sexy and pretty. I'm gonna have to say,
Gia's a different Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I like
That is a sexy Angelina.
Aniston, I think is really cute and bubbly. I don't know if she's as dirty sexy as Jolie. My opinion.
You've seen Horrible Bosses.
He's got a thing for secretaries, I think, right? You kind of like that sexy secretary?
Oh,
yeah, okay.
But like the hottest...
I work in an office.
The hottest, dirtiest girls are like the character actresses. It's like the chick is a little overweight with 5 lines because she's got something to prove. Right? Do you agree with that? Like, you went to Second City. The wildest girl is the fucking girl is just under... Well, you guys are going to let me in this skit. I just totally disagree with Hollywood's versions of it. There's some, though. I mean, there's some.
Well, look at Katie Sagal. You wouldn't consider her
sexy.
Like, sexy as shit.
60.
Oh my God, she's so hot.
There's a lot of sex in that show, right?
Tons of sex. But that show, pretty much everybody's sexy. Like the wife, the second wife. You gotta watch it. His first wife, and there's like a smart sexy, there's a dirty sexy, there's a porn sexy, there's all types of sex.
There's not like Ron Perlman ass or anything in there, is it? I don't want to see that.
Not what?
No, there's a lot of ass
Ron
though.
Perlman
And then
ass?
it goes.
He's in it. I just don't want to see his ass.
And then it goes into some sexual proclivities in season 7. I want to talk about that, like men once they've had sex with everybody, what do you have sex with? And that gets interesting. Yeah. Hello, Vimeo.
All right, listen. Let's wrap up the show with a bang. Karen's celebration of the birthdays of those who make the movies. It's time for Karen's birthdays.
Did we get everything?
Did we get everything?
No,
what else do we want
to talk about?
These are pop. These are just things that you were talking about. Early 90s.
He's referring to his notes.
No,
he's the only guest that's
True
taken
fans?
notes.
Mystery Man.
Last week, Beth brought
Hey,
notes.
Mystery Man, fuck that movie.
Comfortable.
You want to talk about Steve Jobs?
No, I forget about podcast. I'm fine. Yeah.
You good?
I hit the notes. In fact, here's how.
What?
That was all the notes. We hit the notes.
Right.
Drop the mic. Drop the notes.
All right, let's start off our week of birthdays by wishing a very happy birthday to Mr. John Hamm, who turns 44 but can play anywhere from a space cowboy to a madman.
He was in Space Cowboys?
Wow.
Yeah, right? All right, so here's a little fun facts, a couple about Mr. Don Draper. His first acting role was as Winnie the Pooh in first grade.
Oh.
Who would have thought? Once he worked as a set dresser for porn.
I think he condescended to Piglet.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Wow.
Gives us a little starter job. And the first time that he met Mr. Bryan Cranston, Mr. Cranston was in his underwear. They were doing a photo shoot together. That's something that would stay with you.
Do
Yes?
you have any information on what the photo shoot was for?
Yeah, it was for Mad Men and for Breaking Bad. It wasn't for the porn that he was set dressing. It was
Wait,
actual legit.
I have a
lady.
side note.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that him and I are the same age?
Shut up.
Would you
Or
know? Would you think that me and John Hamm are the same age?
John Hamm's older.
No.
He's just
He's
more.
way older. He's like 54.
But he's regal. He's not like he
Yeah.
looks old. He's just more regal. So
That's
that's
crazy,
That's
dude.
interesting. New
Yes.
fact.
I had the same.
We call
reaction.
those fun facts.
Yes, yes. Now, we all know John Hamm from his work on AMC's Mad Men.
I cut the fun fact segment though because he didn't want to fucking do it anymore.
They weren't that fun.
They weren't
Wait,
fun.
do the fun
many genocide
facts.
facts. Fun
Jesus
facts.
God.
Too many genocide
It was
facts.
6 hours of you guys reading before I talked. So it's like, why didn't you just let me come in when you want to do my part? And it was like, Larry, the
I
voice
thought you might have
coach.
fun. We were wrong.
I'm sure you.
I had some fun, but I mean, we're watching.
I wanted to hear your comments on Cinderella, and then we didn't.
I'm a piece of duty.
Personally, I enjoyed him winding up.
But-
during
oh.
it. Like, are we done yet?
Wait, that's
I
what
thought
I
that
wanna
was
say.
entertaining, actually.
This is what I want to say about
Yes, tell
podcasts, though.
me.
What I do love about your podcast is
Yes.
that you are prepared. You are
Hey.
not a bunch of rambling nutbags, which is
Yeah.
why there's like, hey, I got a podcast. Okay, so I do like that. But my note is, we get it. You did 9 pages. We can probably scale it back. Let's go to a lighter draft.
I love that we're not rambling.
Oh, well, you're not.
Can I put that on the website?
Yes.
Not rambling nutbags.
Jamie Kennedy. I take
I'd
that
be
as a
honored.
compliment. Jamie, I'd like to wish I'd like to move on if I could and wish a happy birthday to Aaron Eckhart. Who here likes Aaron Eckhart, right?
Doesn't.
I like him or Thomas Jane. Which one do I like, Paul?
You like Aaron?
Aaron
Wait, no.
Eckhart.
Thomas Jane was Punisher.
Yeah, I like
No,
Thomas Jane. Sorry.
Oh.
He turns 4. Can you believe he's 46? You're right.
He could seem older.
He seems older, but I
He
still
does.
feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like John Hamm was like even older than he is.
I thought you said Nicole Eckert.
Wow.
You always hear that.
Oh, gee.
Once I said Emmanuel Lewis.
Charles
you
in
thought I said
charge?
Nicole Eckert.
Charles in charge Eggert or Baywatch Eggert? Or they're both
Charles.
great Eggerts. Or like recent Whole Foods Eggert.
Did you run into her at the Rock and Roll Whole Foods?
3 different Eggerts.
Do any of you know what movie that Aaron Eckhart debuted in 1993?
Thank you for not
Any
smoking.
nerds
Thank you
here?
for smoking.
93?
No, this is a
Cliffhanger.
nope.
Oh, I know this.
Do you, Paul?
Wait.
I will be surprised
Cracker
if you know
Jack.
this.
Was it before In the Company of Men?
Yes, it's so crazy old. Slaughter of the Innocents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who knows
Have you
that
ever heard of that? Now, wait a minute. Now,
TV movie.
it was a real movie.
Oh, okay.
A movie.
If I haven't heard of it, I'd just say it's a TV movie.
Oh, okay. Now, we all know that he played Harvey Dent in the villainous alter ego Two-Face, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Adam, who played Harvey Dent in The Batman in 1989?
Oh, give me a challenge. Billy D. Williams.
Do you know that? Okay. All right, and then
Wow.
who played Two-Face in Batman Forever in 95?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Right? Okay. And now this one is, I don't think you can get this. In the animated series in 1992, who played the that character? It's the voice acting.
Two-Face?
Yeah.
Mark Hamill.
You're close. Richard Mole.
Oh.
Wow.
Dickie Mole. Is he dead?
I think
he
so.
died.
Did he die?
I think
You know
he did
why?
too.
Richard Mole died?
You know why I know? Because I think he died underneath a woman.
Oh, good for him.
I think he was in the act, and she was really young, and she
Good
like
for
literally
him.
effed him to death.
Those
Whoa.
Batman movie, like
Look that
animated
up.
series, are paying off.
I'm not going to.
Is that the way to
Let's
go?
go with that.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with that.
Look that up.
If anyone asks me how I know, Jamie Kennedy told me.
At the House of Pies.
Lastly, let's wish a very happy birthday to Miss Liza Minnelli, who turned 68, and I believe that.
Wow.
But it can also play anywhere from Liza with a Z to Lucille.
She could also be an 80, though.
Lucille, too.
She could be 80.
Every bit of that 68.
We all know that she's a daughter of Julie Garland and Vincent Minnelli. And I thought this was kind of surprising that she wasn't the first choice for Sally Bowles in Cabaret. It was actually Barbra Streisand.
Vincent Minnelli. I heard Ed Burns is a huge fan of him. Have you seen?
I like Cabaret. The black and white version.
All right.
Are your panties moist?
Now, Lee.
Please edit that out.
seen-
Sorry, Ed, I love you. I want to be in Brothers McMullen 4.
Lee, you know how much I love when celebrities sing, right?
This is true. Jamie Kennedy was just asking me,
Yes?
can you tell me 2 interesting things about Karen?
What?
I said, first of all, she insists that Paul makes sound effects during sex.
Exactly.
And 2, she loves when celebrities sing.
And I do. And why not have Liza Minnelli sing a little something, but not something good? Let's have her sing something from Sex and the City 2. Uh-oh, here it comes. You can only imagine.
Jamie Kennedy, did you see the sequel?
Wait, was she in this? Is that really her?
Yes, that's
Oh,
really
so she
her.
was in it doing it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Playing
Whoa,
herself.
what was that sequence?
A big dance number at a fashion show, I think.
Yeah.
Wait. This is Liza Minnelli?
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of other songs she sang.
I know. But
Why
why?
would we focus on those?
Why focus on the good ones?
Are you aware of what show you're on? All right, well, that's it for the show, everybody.
Questions about this. Wait, was this actually in the movie?
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Because it's Sex and the City 2.
It's on purpose.
That's like that movie, and every chick went and
I
the
loved
bolos,
it.
and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're women." Wow.
I loved it.
Interesting point of trivia.
Yes.
She was in Arrested Development, and
Yes.
she drops a reference in there. Someone was singing New York, New York, and she goes, everybody thought it was Frank Sinatra. And Stephen Lewis, the movie guy, looks up the fact that a lot of people don't know she is the first person to sing
Yep.
New York, New York in Martin Scorsese's New York, New York.
Yeah.
And then Frank Sinatra covered that.
Wow.
That New York, New York is a song from 1984,
Oh, yeah.
83.
A movie she starred in with Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro.
Wow, somebody gets a free banana cream pie.
Thank you.
That was
Butterscotch.
really-
Butterscotch.
I'll take you up for that.
That's good.
The House
that's
of
good
Pie.
fact.
Coconut.
Not enough food is made with butterscotch. That's where House of Pies wins. So follow us on Twitter at The Movie Guys for daily jokes and links. Also, Facebook.com/The Movie Guys, as well as iTunes, Vimeo, YouTube, Funny or Die, SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram, all that shit.
And don't forget, Buddy Hutchins.
And Buddy Hutchins, right? I was going to say
Buddy.
thanks to Jamie Kennedy for jumping into the show.
If you would like to see
for
Jamie
having me.
Kennedy chainsaw ahead after a day of rage, Buddy Hutchins is the place to see that.
Yes.
With feeling. With
Google
feeling.
Play, and you can buy it on Amazon. It's on disc. Now, what else should people be following of yours?
Well, I
Do you do the social media or anything like that?
Oh yeah, at Jamie Kennedy on Twitter, the Jamie Kennedy on Instagram, because somebody took Jamie Kennedy's not being a douchebag. It's because there was no Jamie Kennedy, so I had to put the, so people are like, you're the. And then my Facebook, Jamie Kennedy. Those three.
Right on.
Cool.
And I don't have a Tumblr because I'm not 14.
Paul, get rid of our Tumblr.
I know.
Do you Snapchat?
I do Snapchat, but do you want to hit me on Snapchat? Hello. All the single ladies.
Thanks to Steve Schultz for his writing contributions to the show every week.
Thanks, Steve.
Although we skipped a lot of them. Remember, you've always find everything we're up to.
Page 8.
At themovieguys.net. Next week we're back with young adults and old adults celebrating with Insurgent and the Gunman. That's next week.
Wow.
We will see you then. Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, movie people.
Fine. Rose is giving her a hard time.